So how the hell are all you motherfuckers? It's like my most favorite sound in the world.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm digging that new intro, bro. It's fucking
That's an old
metal as
intro, but it
fuck.
looks cool. You know,
Yeah.
it's like that's all my favorite Toho monsters. You seen a dude in like the caveman outfit?
The gargantuans?
No, the one before that, where it looked like a caveman. You know,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
that was Toho's version of Frankenstein, right?
Oh shit.
Yeah, they put
Okay.
that out like way back. It was crazy. It was a little Chinese dude dressed up as Frankenstein, and he was going against fucking what was that? I think it was Anglogearus, like one of Godzilla's buddies. It was crazy though. Like I hunted down that movie like crazy because I was like, God, I gotta see that. You know, I've
What
never
the
seen
fuck is
anything
it?
like that before. And I found it on this Internet Archives,
Yeah.
and dude, it was so awesome. I was watching it. I liked it. My wife hates those movies too. She's like, I
Mine too,
hate
dude.
those fucking movies.
Oh yeah, my wife too, dude.
She's like, why do you like people dressed up as monsters? Like, I was like, because it's fucking awesome. What are you crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in the
Do you
same
know
boat,
how
brother.
long it took them to build that city so they can destroy it within a couple of minutes?
Right? Like
We
fucking
got one
2 years, probably.
shot at this, fellas. Like I was watching a interview with one of the guys that dressed up as Godzilla for one of the old Toho movies,
Yeah.
and they made the suits back then like they had a wire mesh on the inside to hold them together. You
Really?
know? Yeah. Well, the wire came loose while the guy was in the suit, and it started digging into his legs while he was walking through that makeshift ocean they had that Godzilla was walking
Oh
through.
fuck. It's cutting
And
this
the
shit
dude
up.
was just pouring blood inside of the suit.
Oh
It was
fuck, dude.
crazy, dude.
Just cutting up some fucking veins and arteries and
Yeah, and he
fucking
was
nerves
like,
and shit.
and then
Like
they
Dark
asked him, well,
Man.
why did he was like, why didn't you
Like,
stop? He was like, well,
your
that's
adrenaline.
the price of being an actor.
It's the price of
I'm like,
art. I must bleed for my art.
oh goddamn, dude. I was like, you're playing Godzilla. Like nobody knows who you are. They just know Godzilla.
Right?
But nah, dude. Like in like Japan, they fucking those guys are like national treasures. You know
No,
what I'm
it's like
saying?
that, dude. Like in fucking France, dude. The comic artists, man, they're treated like rock stars over there, bro, with their
We
BD.
got, we got to move to France.
Dude, I want to move to France, bro. I was telling my late, like, I don't like France really because they're kind of fucking woke as fuck. But they got cool like cathedrals and shit, and they got the whole BD thing. And I would move to, I would love to live on a city by the water. You know what I mean? Where
Well,
you got your butcher, your baker, your candlestick maker, all the fucking food. You get to sit there to fucking smoke your J or your cigarette or your fucking cigar, sip your
two
fucking
things about
wine and,
France
and
though.
paint.
One of my the like one of my ex bosses that I used to work for. You know,
Yeah,
her and her girlfriend went to they go to like a different like they go out of country every year for their vacation. You know, and like one
yeah.
time they went to Alaska. I don't know why anybody would want to go to Alaska.
That
You
place
know
is kind
what
of
I'm
depressing
saying?
out here.
Plus,
Yeah,
it's cold as fuck. You
30
know,
days a night and shit.
even during the summer. You know,
Yeah,
it's like fuck. It's fucking freezing up there. Like there's still ice on the ground. You
yeah,
know
like,
what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
yeah, it's like I just don't get it. I mean,
yeah,
I guess people just like that shit. I don't know. But they went to France one time, right?
yeah, yeah.
And this is right. This is like the year before one of their main cathedrals burned down. You remember
Oh
that?
fuck. Yeah, Notre Dame,
Like,
dude.
yeah,
Yeah,
Notre Dame. That was it. And
yeah,
she said it was beautiful. She's like, you know, the food was great. She's like, we went to go see the sights.
yeah,
And she
yeah.
was like, we stopped at this French coffee place because we always want to stop, you know, and have coffee in France at a French coffee place. She's like,
Exactly.
we're drinking our coffee and we look over and like right across from us on the other side of the street, a guy's taking a dump on the sidewalk.
Oh, it sounds like fucking Frisco.
she's like, she's like, it's such a mixture between like, you know, normal people and just fucking psychotics. So
Yeah, some fucking far fucking out
yeah, it's like,
radical turd droppers. You know, kind of like Frisco. You know,
well, it's
it's
kind of
like the
like New
Frisco.
Orleans. We're used to
Down a
that
couple
bullshit.
blocks from. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of like that everywhere. You know, nowadays.
Yeah, you have
They do
your
got a lot of shit out there, though. I was talking. I had the guys. Fuck, it was Nefertarius and it was Nine Realm Studios. They were talking about their book Judex.
Judex.
A, kind of like the Shadow, but mixed of like during like World War II, but with like a lot of like French culture, dude. You know, and this dude's got
Yeah,
a badass gun. Oh, you got to check it out. I still got to back the book, but they do a lot of. I'm like, they're talking about a lot of like deep French lore, you know. And I'm like, damn, you got the fucking Hunchback of Notre Dame and like the Man in the Iron Mask and there's like you know like the Phantom of the Opera, like all that shit's from there, you know. And they got all those opera houses and like, damn, it's just pretty rich. And I was like, well, you got the fucking beast in there, you know. You got because the guy in the story, the Judex, that's the character. He's
yeah.
got like this lair, like a bat cave, and he's got all these artifacts that are actually in the lore, like in the canon, like they existed, you know, like in his world and in the reality. You know, I'm like, well, he got the fucking fur from the beast down there because you
Dude, I
know,
think I got that.
Beauty and the
Like,
Beast, Beauty and the Beast is French too, you know. So
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
so I didn't back it, and Vaughn did a short story with it because it's during the same era as Black Terror. So yeah, I want to get that fucking book, man.
Oh, I gotta grab that book.
It hasn't shipped yet. I don't think though. I don't think it's shipped yet.
No, it's because I got a book that's
Hmm.
I collect a lot of books, dude. And I'm telling you, I think I got that. Uh, like because so I seen this one book and it was they claim that it was like the first superhero, right? So a
Yeah,
guy
yeah,
revived it and did a new novel with it, and the dude's like Batman, like he has bat
yeah.
wings, and he flies around old France, you know, with
Oh
these
wow.
makeshift bat wings.
No, that's something else. But yeah, that's crazy.
And I think he battles. I'm almost wondering if he battles vampires.
That sounds fucking dope, dude. I'm all about that.
Yeah,
Um,
it's badass. And I think Bisley, one of the main reasons I got it is because I think Bisley did the cover. But when I opened it up, it was like, dude, this is fucking amazing. Like next time we do the show, I'm definitely going to
you
pull
got to
that
show
out.
me that because I'm like, there's
Yeah.
so much cool French shit. And then I was gonna tell them, I was like, I'm not gonna bring it up. I don't think I brought it up, but I was like, what about the Beast of Gévaudan? You know what I mean? The fucking first werewolf like legend, you know, the one that killed all those people, like 100 something people, you know. It's like
Was
that's
it
a
a
big.
fake? It was a fake werewolf? Or was
It
it?
was. There's a lot of different like depend. There's a lot of different conclusions on what it was. Some people think it was an animal that was bred different breeds, you know. But I was like, oh, that's what I'm using in Butch Cleaver 3, man. That's like my main villain. Um, so, but yeah, man, I think you will
That
love
actually
that. And
sounds
also
badass.
Vaughn's doing Vaughn did what is it? There's like an extra book that comes with that book where his Black Terror, his whole Black Terror team is on it
Yeah.
with Judex, a crossover. So I'm like, fuck, I want to get it, dude. It's
Oh yeah, I got to
Nefertarius,
check that
Global
out.
Frequency. Check it out, Judex. It's all black and
Hang
white
on.
book.
Let me write that down real quick. This is
Yeah,
what I do
Judex.
during shows. So.
Yeah, that's
Global
yeah.
frequency puts
He
that
did
out.
that book Mavericks, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I did the cover for it.
yeah. Okay, there you go. And you did the field, so you know what's up.
Yeah, the
Judex.
field was fun. I
The
actually
field
like the
looks
field.
fucking
I thought
dope,
it was
dog.
badass.
Like I was
Yeah.
surprised. Yeah, Judex, dude. She looks dope too, man. Yeah,
Actually, they probably should have called me to do the Judex cover and not the
I
field.
know.
Like,
Yeah, that'd be fucking. Well, I
that's
mean, the
more
field
fun.
looks fucking. That shit's brutal, though, bro. You should do it. Maybe they get you Judex too or something, you know, because they got stories lined up.
Yeah, dude. Did you hear about that? Like they're fucking. What was it? It was, what state was it where the immigrants are like, this place sucks. We're going. we're
Dude,
going
yeah, I think it
back
was up in
home.
like Chicago or something. Like
Yeah, it
it
was
was like Hondurans
Chicago.
or some shit, Uruguayans or
Yeah, they were
Chileans
like,
or something. They're like, oh, fuck this. This is whack. Let's go back and get tortured or something.
because I guess it's not that cold where they're from, you know, and it gets cold in Chicago, dude. And they're living
Cold
in
as fuck. Yeah,
tents, like on side the road and shit, you know. And they're
yeah,
like, nah, fuck this, you know. Like,
yeah,
we want to go home.
yeah.
Fuck that being persecuted bullshit.
He says for real, the most original werewolf / vampire story should be based on rabies, the disease that both of these stories are based on. Yeah,
I, you know, I
I'm not doing that,
remember.
but I mean, I'm gonna have a something like that. My shit's a little more cheesier.
I remember. I can't remember which movie it was, but I do remember a movie that was based on that the werewolf virus was based on rabies.
Oh,
I
really?
can't remember what
Was it
movie it
Wolfen?
was. Was it Wolfen? I don't
I'm not
remember.
sure.
Like it's hard. It's hard to
The
remember.
only
But
one I know about the Beast of Geverdon was Brotherhood of the Wolf, and actually
yeah,
Jim Henson Studio designed the Beast of Geverdon in Brotherhood of the Wolf, and that shit looked pretty cool too. It was the last fucking puppet CG. It was puppet and CGI. It's the last fucking
yep.
thing they did.
Oh
Sanctuary
yeah, they're
cities are
definitely
feeling the
feeling the
pain.
pain. No, dude, like when they redid the Dark Crystal, like I thought
Mm.
that those Vulture people are fucking amazing, dude. Like
Right? I agree, man.
yeah, and they did a
So
version of
gross.
it on Farscape, like
Oh,
a
really?
cheaper version, because Jim Henson did all the animation, all the puppets for Farscape too, like all the aliens and shit like that, you know.
Yeah.
And dude, like it was, I could only imagine a cost on that show, but they made it 4 seasons, you know, and it was just goddamn amazing.
I love to
I
see like just his like designs, like on the crow, like on those fucking Dark Crystal crow men. Like
that
just
I
the
was trying to
sketches and
look for
shit.
something like that. Yeah,
Um,
because I
they're
was
just
looking
so
for like the
horrid.
art of the Dark Crystal or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I did get a copy of the art of what was it? It was that Four Horsemen video game,
Darksiders.
Darksiders. It was the
Oh, I
first
fucking
one.
love that game.
Yeah, me too. Like
Joe
well,
Mad.
I played the first two. I heard there's
Me
a
too.
third one out. Yeah,
Yeah, that's with the chick. Yeah,
yeah.
I haven't
Now
played
my
that one yet.
favorite one was in one, but the visuals on two
Two. Yeah,
were
yeah.
badass. You
Me
know,
too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I kind of
but
feel that way.
I
I
think
kind
one had the
of.
most characters too, like the most imagination as far as because they reused a lot of characters from one and two. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
and yeah, I got the art of Darksiders from the first
Fuck.
video game. You know,
I gotta get that. You know who does the voice of Death in part two?
no, who does it?
Top Dollar from The Crow.
Does he really? Holy shit, I never knew that.
I think we broke her.
Yeah,
Michael Wincott. He's
yeah,
fucking
he was
dope, dude.
badass, dude.
He's
After seeing
so
him in
good.
Crow, I totally expected him to be a villain like that in every movie
Every
that I've
movie.
seen afterwards, but he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? He was like a nerdy spy guy or some shit like that, and I'm like, nah, this dude was the fucking the gothic mob boss of fucking.
Crow. Well, I mean, he was he
Yeah.
was he was pretty badass in Three Musketeers. He was in that one with Tim Curry
Oh,
and
he
Kiefer
was. That's
Sutherland and
right.
Charlie Sheen,
Yeah.
and then he was also in Robin Hood Prince of Thieves. I'm gonna cut you. Oh no, is it? I'm gonna cut your heart out with a spoon. Was that him? He said that. No, it was Alan Rickman. He said something else,
Yeah.
but he
Yeah,
was
I
Alan
remember.
Rickman's cousin, and he ended up fucking killing him. But
He was a bad guy in another movie too. I can't remember what it
along
was.
came a spider. He's in the new Jordan Peele movie. That was his latest shit.
What's the
Um,
name of that movie?
I forgot, dude. He's got such a cool voice, though. I think
Yeah.
he would be a really good Solomon Kane, though. If they
Oh,
actually
I
made a
think he
Solomon,
would.
he just got the voice. He could fence. He could do all that shit.
Is he young enough to play it though?
No, he would have to do like an old Solomon Kane, like one of the because like I like for me Solomon Kane, I imagine him sometimes like in his older years,
Yeah.
in his elder years, and sometimes I imagine him kind of like maybe like 40. But for me, he's like his earliest years are 40. Like he don't go any earlier than that. Like I always imagine him like a 40-year-old, or older.
I liked him. I liked the Solomon Kane movie they made. I
Loved
thought it
it.
was badass.
Loved it. I thought they perfectly well casted, dude.
Yeah, and I think that was the dude from Dracula Untold or something like that. I think
Uh,
it was. I'm almost
he was
positive.
he wasn't in too many. That was Luke Evans. The guy they had from Solomon Kane was James Purefoy. He wasn't in too many. He hasn't been in too many movies. He was in a TV show with Kevin Bacon called The Following, where he was a
Was
serial
he?
killer. Yeah.
He was Jim Morrison's manager uh, in the movie with Val Kilmer.
Uh, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, he was. I think he was actually Michael Wincott from The Crow.
Yeah,
Top Dollar. I think he was actually. Yeah.
they said
Top Dollar. Yeah.
I was watching an interview with Val Kilmer, and he said that he actually sang all the
He
Doors
did.
songs in that
Yeah.
movie because
If
he
you buy
was
the soundtrack, it's all him. It's all him,
yeah
baby. Yeah.
because
The
they
CD.
that's how he got the role because he wasn't going to get the role at first, and then he gave the director a demo tape, and he said, "Listen to this."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Okay, what, the Doors?" And he was like, "No, that's me and the Doors cover band, and I was doing the voice of Jim Morrison." And he goes, "What?" He goes, "You got it. You got the role."
That was Oliver Stone was like, yeah, you got it.
Yeah, but all the other actors didn't like Val, and I didn't really realize why until I seen the Val Kilmer like documentary. You know, after
Oh yeah,
he
this
had
is
the
Val or something.
tracheotomy and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's. I don't think he's intentionally an asshole. I'm
He,
saying.
he he is, from my understanding, like from other people. I love me some Val Kilmer, but even he admitted to it. Like he's like looking
Well,
back in retrospect. Like I was an ass.
well, yeah, but I don't think he actually realized that at the time. I think what
Probably
it
not, huh?
was that he's one of those artsy actors, and he thinks that
Exactly.
he's like doing like God's work or something like that
Yeah,
whenever he
yeah.
gets on stage. Yeah, and
Just gets real emo about it. Really emotional.
well, they said on the set of the Doors movie, um, he wouldn't respond to anything but Jim Morrison.
He's totally in character.
And they were like,
Yeah.
they're like, "How about asshole? Do you respond?" To
Yeah.
It was crazy, dude. But all right. So we're gonna look at Dio, and one thing I didn't realize, and I was telling Matt before we actually started the stream, was that the mascot for Dio, that devil from their first album, is named Murray, and the guy who actually illustrated the album cover. Hold on, let me pull it up. He actually works for Pixar Entertainment now
Oh
as an
shit.
animator. Yeah. And the
He's doing Toy
concept of
Story.
the album. Yeah, well, yeah, I know,
I
right?
don't know. Probably though.
But God damn it, where's it at? Yeah, there it is. The concept of the album cover came from Dio's wife.
Oh really? Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it's another thing I didn't know. I was like, whoa. I was like,
That's
check this out.
badass.
What is this? Is that you or is that me? Do you hear something? Ah, wait. No, it's. Do you hear something coming through?
No.
Oh, I know what that is. Hold on one second. I got something coming through my earphones.
This shit's crazy right here. That cover though.
It is. But yeah, so here's the history of this cover, right? So Dio's wife came up with the concept. Dio helped her like bring it to life a little bit. That's what he said. Like he was involved in some way, but it was basically her idea to have this demon
Mm.
like having this priest in the water. And so he said back in the day, like like this was in 1983 when they came up with this cover. And back then, like things like nowadays, anything goes. Back then, it wasn't like that. And the record company wasn't going to let it fly because they were like, "Well, we got this demon with a priest, you know," and
Yeah.
he's like, and he goes, "Well, how do you know which one's the demon and which one's the priest?"
Right.
That's what Dio told him because he loved to fuck around with these dudes.
Right.
And then like after and Dio said in an interview, he was like, and after thinking about it, he's like, now knowing what I know now, concerning the Catholic Church and what they did to altar boys and shit like that, he's
Right.
like, I think the cover was spot on.
100%.
And that's one thing I heard about Dio. Like he wasn't really an atheist, but he wasn't huge into religion like everybody else is. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. The Satanic Panic back in the day. Um, yeah, that was the era of the Satanic Panic, and a lot of bands made a lot of money off of that shit. The Yeah, we're gonna get to that one, but yeah, so she she came up with the concept of Murray, because that's Dio's mascot's name. He believed in this like the same way like Iron Maiden believed. Like if you have a monster, you should name him, something funny. So
Right.
they had Eddie and he had Murray, and Yeah, so they brought it to an illustrator they knew. He roughed it out, brought it, to pencils, and then they brought it to a well-known artist at the time. And later on, that artist went to work for Pixar Entertainment. What was his name? It was.
That's clean, dude.
Yeah, I like it. And another thing Dio said too is that the record company was pushing to have them do band photos
Oh yeah,
for the
on the cover.
yeah, and
Yeah,
he
it's like fuck that.
strongly was against that because
I
he
can
didn't
imagine
believe. Yeah, because well, that's what he said. He was
for
like,
him, specifically.
well, his explanation for this was that um, he didn't feel like his fans were getting their money's worth when they bought a Dio album. If they had a bunch of guys with poofed up hair on the cover,
Nah, makes 100.
you know
percent
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he was a huge fan of original art, so
Mm.
he wanted like some original art on his covers. He didn't want any photos, which is great for us because now we got something to talk about.
Yeah, 100%.
And so the finished product was done by Randy Barrett, and
Mm.
Randy now he works for Pixar, which is it's kind of crazy when you think about it, right? I mean, but
It's weird, huh?
yeah, I mean you can.
He's throwing up
Like,
the
look at
horns too,
this.
dude. Murray.
Well, that's another thing they said too is that Dio originated that.
That's what I
Was
heard too.
the
And he got it from
yeah?
his grandma too. I remember watching that
Did he
on the
really?
VH1 documentary. Yeah,
I never knew that. You
behind the
got it.
music, or
You got
it
it.
was
You got to
the metal
elaborate.
metal evolution, 11 hour like documentary.
I used to watch those. I know. I missed that one. What happened?
Yeah, there's 11 hours, like 11 episodes, 1 hour.
Well, what
But
about
yeah,
his
he's like,
grandmother?
so his grandma would do this to him. Like, oh, it's like, oh, the devil is going to get you. Is it gonna get you? It was like or something like that. But it was like a
Like kind of
kind of like a,
dispersing evil kind of
yeah,
thing.
yep. And he's like, oh, I just took it from her. And he probably did, dude. It probably did start
Yeah.
back then. Because I mean, like Ozzy wasn't really throwing them motherfuckers up. Robert Plant
Well,
wasn't throwing them motherfuckers up, was he?
I have vivid memories, like really good memories of riding in the car with my grandmother and my aunt and a black cat running across, at night, running in front of the car,
Hmm.
and everybody rolling their windows down and spitting out the window. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
shit.
Because and I was like, it's like what? Well, I come from an Italian family. That side
Oh
of it
okay.
was Italian anyway. And I was like, what the fuck was that for? And they're like, I never said fuck because I would have got my ass whipped. I
Yeah.
said, what'd y'all do that for? And they're like, well, you have to spit out the evil when a black cat crosses your path. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
It just seemed
Hey,
ridiculous to me back then.
kind of, there's these traditions, but the cats are there's some mean motherfuckers sometimes.
I
Like,
I don't know, dude. My whole thing was it is kind of gypsy esque,
yeah,
but
yeah, a bit.
I grew up in an Italian family which was highly superstitious. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And I they were also Catholic.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
and I don't know about you. I don't know how you were raised, but me, like going to Catholic church and shit like that, like I immediately knew like shit did not make sense. The stuff they were spewing out. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
if you don't get baptized, you go to purgatory. But I never did anything wrong. Doesn't matter. You got a inherited sin. You have to get rid of it. I'm like,
yeah,
what the fuck are you talking about? You know? Can you imagine all the babies in purgatory right now? It's
yeah,
crazy. And just their explanation from hell about hell and why you should give money to the church, all kinds of things like that. Just nothing made sense to me. And and then like after that, when I became a teenager, like I seriously wanted to understand and figure out what this whole religious thing was about. So I went from Catholicism to Baptist to
yeah.
Pentecostal to all of these different religions to figure out what the fuck was going on. And
Right.
I just kept seeing the same fucking thing over and over again, just with just a different mask. You know what I'm saying? Like it was all the same bullshit. You
Yeah,
know?
I agree,
Ex-
man. It's a bunch of like people kind of using. At the end of first of all, it's a bunch of people trying to extort money out of other people.
That's exactly what it is. It's a
That's
pyramid scheme.
from the first thing, like from the get, like that's what it is. I think
And then
if from Christianity, it has to come from within. You know what I mean? If you are going to pick that religion, you know what I mean?
yeah. Well, one of the
But I mean,
dirty
you
little
see all these
secrets
schools like
about,
jumping on these evangelists. You know, I mean, you could the Catholics
dude,
like they got the whole sorcery looking like they look like sorcerers and shit with their robes and their gaudy stuff and their
this is
gold
what I think
everywhere
this
in
all
Rome. You know?
stems from. And this is probably going to piss a lot of people off because a lot of people are scared. But I think it's fear that drops people of religion. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. They
Like,
want everybody scared all the time.
well, I think it's because
Everything's
people are so scared of what lies behind that door. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like when they die,
yeah,
that they want to have some type of security that there's going to be something better. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, yeah.
I think that's where it all stems from. So people are willing to get on board with anything as long as it like kills that fear.
Like me, like for me, like I'm Christian. My wife's Catholic, but like for me, like as I grow older, I'm more like God fearing. Before it was more God, you know, like I'm more like the God that's going to come and destroy everything. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's the God that I believe in. You know what I mean? I'm afraid of him. You know?
One of
Um,
the dirty little secrets I learned about religion too, well, at least the Catholic religion, was the reason why they never allowed the priest to marry was because, and this is one of the reasons why the Catholic religion is one of the most powerful religions in the world, right? Well, used to be. I don't know if they still are. One of the richest and most powerful. Is because
yeah,
they never allowed their priests to marry. So none of the properties like gathered by the church or monies gathered by the church could fall to any, could be inherited by any like the priest's, their offspring.
yep,
You see what I'm saying? Like
100%.
they were strictly told to be celibate. You know, they couldn't have
Yeah,
sex.
and they're
I'm
fucking all the
serious. Like
nuns too, and aborting all the babies. Like you know those like
exactly.
churches they
And
find under the in Europe, all over the world.
it made me realize like it's inherently evil.
Yeah, it is,
And
dude.
like
It is.
it's crazy.
And
Like
if you go back and like learn about Jesus, he wasn't even about that. You know what I mean? Like he would come in and see them like having a fucking marketplace and under using his name, he'd go in there and just
yeah.
fucking just destroy everything. They fucking fuck them up for that. You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm
Um,
saying. Like it's like and that's what I told my parents. I was like, I don't follow anything
yeah,
that's like organized religion.
yeah,
You know
nah,
what I'm saying? Like
I don't either. Like it's got to be it's got to be like really like almost like a neighborhood church where everyone on the street fucking goes there and kind of believes it, and still that's kind of
see that
weird. Even
it
that's
is
weird.
because it could be perverted. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and it
Like
could be like,
every
dude, well, what are you doing? Like the guy, like who, like the pastor, why are you driving that? Like, okay,
yeah.
so like, how come you're not taking the bus? Like, why am I giving you all this money? How come it's not in the church? How come the church is
Like
one story? How come it ain't two stories? Like,
like it
where's the money going?
it
Like
makes
that's how
me
I am. You know?
like when you hear about these cults and they're like, yeah, chop your dick off and go ahead and
Yeah,
drink this Kool-Aid, because we're gonna go meet the maker when the comic
hundred
comes around, and shit like that. And you're like,
hundred percent.
who would buy into something like that? Especially a guy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, the
chop my
eyes.
manhood off, and then you yeah, exactly. And then you realize like it's because they're so scared. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like they're
they're
so
scared and like
scared that
some people are just strong with their words. I mean, look at like Adolf. Like they're really good, dude. Like they can really hypnotize you. They're really hypnotic, and there's a power with spoken word and just easy to.
I
But you're
think you're
right.
right, but I
I
think
think
it's
we're
like
both right.
easily. I,
You know?
but exactly, but I think it all stems from fear, right? I
Yeah. Oh
think
yeah. It's always fear.
like
It's always
you have
fear.
these people like they're
You got to sell the
like I knew
fear.
people that were like, well, I really like doing this.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like my life should go,
Right.
where my life should go. But my mom and dad told me like I have to secure my future, so I'm gonna go do something I hate for the rest of my life, so that those
Oh,
last 10 years, you know
when
what
you're
I'm saying?
can't even enjoy.
I can have enough money so
Yeah.
that I
Fuck
won't
that.
have to
Yeah.
work again. You know what I'm saying? And
Fuck
I'm like,
that.
I
Yeah.
like
Uh-uh.
that's the most insane fucking thing I've
Well,
ever heard before in my
like for me,
life.
like side note now, it's like, well, gotta start saving up for that house. Save up, put that money in that fucking buy that fucking house. Like, no, I ain't gonna buy a fucking house right now. You're straight. And when I'm older, I'm gonna live in. I don't know. I'd rather save money and do something else. Maybe travel. Go to fucking Norway or something. Have no expectations to be in the stream, but man, am I chomping?
I
Just
might
saying.
send you an invite. Let me see how it goes because these streams usually go on all night, which is bad. But But yeah, dude, I mean, it's crazy, and I just it wasn't until I got older that I finally understood why people bought into this garbage. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And some of the smartest people I know,
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
of the most hard, like these people are so hard, like you can't, like they're street smart, you can't put
Hmm.
anything by
Hmm.
them. But when it comes to like religion, they're like,
It's their
no, dude,
faith.
like no, I can't,
It's their
can't do
faith.
it.
You know.
And what used to trip me out, like when I, I knew so many people, like because when they found out they had a loophole, you know what I'm saying? Like go on Sunday, you get redemption on Sunday, you go sin all week.
Yeah.
I
It's like
knew so
no.
many people that used to cheat on their wives, fucking cheat people
Yeah.
out of money, all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like these are the same people. Like I was talking to a fellow artist when I used to work in a company, and my boss was listening to us, and we were talking about religion. I was like, yeah, I don't believe all that shit. He was like, dude, you're going to hell. I was
Yeah.
like, this is coming from the guy that goes to a brothel.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm saying, and I'm like, this is crazy, dude. And I like there was a guy that that I was talking to way back, and he said he met Dio, like he's seen him out.
Hmm.
I forget where he was at. I think he was in California or something like that. And he said he had a long talk with him about religion. He said the dude was super like awake when it came to that. You know what I'm saying? Like he never bought into like organized religion or anything like that. Like he had his own views on how things went. And I think that kind of explains the first album cover he ever put down. Yeah.
Oh yeah. 100%. He nailed it. You know.
Yeah. But yeah,
There's a
we're
lot of
gonna
things I
close
see
this
in
out.
that cover too. Like even in the water, kind of looks like vermin or wolves kind of biting that way, and like the clouds kind of like low key look like angel wings coming out of the demon. I don't know. It's weird. Like
They
little
have
subtle things that aren't there. You know.
there's definitely a lot of subtle things, but in the oh, let me pull this up. On the inside covers, let's see. Here we go. The inside covers have a lot to say too. Uh, like they, I mean, that's one thing I like looking at whenever we look at these because the painting just doesn't stop at the cover.
Oh
They
yeah.
also go into all this other detail. And it's kind of crazy. But you can actually see the paint strokes and everything on this. Like it's one thing I like about all of that. And he saved
Oh
all the
yeah.
pictures from the inside.
I love the color though, man. I love the color on that
Yeah.
cover. The orange and the purple, the sunset or
These are the
dawn.
colors, like red and black, are supposed to turn you off to things. You know what I'm saying? Like it's supposed to fuck with your head in a way that's like yellows, reds, and blacks aren't. They're not supposed to be attractive to people.
Mm.
Always like that combination. You know, I don't know. It's just me. But the second album Dio put out, which one was Rainbow in the Dark on?
I
Or
thought
was
that
that
one was the
even?
third album. It was Rainbow, like a rainbow in the dark.
Did y'all ever cover that when you used to?
No, it would be fun. Holy diver.
Dun, 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 dun. That's got to be an easy ass
He's
song.
he's so powerful. His voice.
I remember playing that as a kid, Holy Diver, because
It's
we,
just dope.
yeah, this
Such a
is one of
better
our
singer
favorite
than Ozzy
albums.
Osbourne.
Ozzy was scared of that motherfucker, dude.
He was the
Like,
power dude. Like he was scared of the power in that dude's like chest and vocal cords. He was just like, keep that shit away from me, man.
well, that explains a lot on why Ozzy and Sharon used to call and fuck with Black Sabbath's venues. Like, whenever they
Oh,
had a
for
venue
sure.
to play, they would, like, Sharon would make a call and say, hey, this is Sabbath's manager. We're not going to make it tonight. Sabbath would show up and they'd be like, hey,
We just
show's
talked to
canceled.
Sharon.
What are you talking about? Yeah, like your manager, Sharon, said that she's like, it's fucking bullshit. It was always Tony Iommi that had to deal with that kind of shit. But Ozzy was jealous, dude. Like he did not like that Dio was fucking. He didn't. I think Ozzy was one of those people that didn't think that he was one of those guys that were like, if I leave, I'll leave, and Black Sabbath goes under.
Oh yeah,
And Tony Iommi's like, if you leave, we get Dio, and we keep making better music.
and kicking ass. Peace out.
Because I don't know, dude. Like, I mean, that first album, maybe the second album was good with
Ozzy.
Black Sabbath. Yeah,
Yeah,
Ozzy.
yeah, yeah. The first
But
two were
the
good.
Dio albums, dude. Oh
Yeah,
God, dude, those albums are sick.
power.
Son.
Yeah.
Especially the one of my favorite songs was the Mob Rules. You know.
Mm. I'm digging Maury, man. He almost looks like a fucking superhero, dude. Like in some ways, you know what I mean? He's all
It reminds
swole and
me.
fucking buff. Like he would fuck Eddie up, dude. He'd fuck up like Vic too. We haven't done Megadeth yet, but look at that fool, dude. Looks like
He, he reminds me of a cross between Mephisto and Eternity from Marvel Comics.
yeah,
You know
dude.
what I'm saying? Like
He looks
this is one. I always like it when they put the planets like fading into the background.
oh yeah, yeah.
I
Kind of
don't
like
know who
John
did this
Carter, like
album cover.
some Frazetta a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
I
dude. I have
fucks
to
with.
say, dude. I have to say that his the band mascot Murray.
Murray.
He's a badass dude. That fool's on swole. Like I'd be Team Murray. Like if I had to go into battle, I'd probably like be with that guy. You know, he's gonna like pop some heads.
Again, it's Wendy Dio who went ahead and came up with the concept of the
And
album.
Dio was really big on the like fantasy, dude, like novels and stuff like that. You know,
Yeah,
he was
no,
an
he
avid
was.
reader of fantasy.
It was Barry Jackson who did the illustration.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I don't. No, he's not the one that did the first one. Actually, I like the second album better. Yeah, I really dig that. You know, I'm looking at the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm saying like. At first, I thought it was just an ocean, but it's an ocean of people.
Oh yeah, down below. Yeah, on the bottom left.
God damn it! All right, there we go.
The dude's swole too.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
He's a big slab of meat.
God damn it! I can't get it up. All right, somebody's gonna go ahead and clip that. Can't get it up.
Can't get it up.
The last in line. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these songs are dated, but there's a lot of them in there that just blow me away. Like especially
Yeah,
when modern band covers, like they do covers of them. Yeah,
yeah.
I really dig that kind of shit too.
And it's just he's just like all power, dude. His voice, like he's very powerful. Like he's a really good singer. It's like he's fun to listen to. You know, pumps you up
Yeah,
too.
yeah. I got to check out some more interviews with Dio. I really
Yeah,
dig Dio. Here's my
he's
boy.
cool.
My first experience. Yeah, actually, that's where I was exposed to Dio was the heavy metal movie because you remember that part where all the priests, you know, and this is the weird part about that movie too, and it always bothered me too, you know, because I was like the dactyl riders, you know, with Tarna, you know, like the priests while you know, all right, it's time to call it dactyl, you know, the riders, you know, and all this shit, and they're in the temple, but it's too late, you know what I'm saying? Like the mob already started like fucking like raiding the temples and killing all you motherfuckers, you know?
Yeah,
I was like, if you're just gonna save the city and the temple, shouldn't you have done this before? You know
right,
what I'm saying? Like you knew they were coming,
right.
you know. Now you're gonna call her. So yeah, that's the one thing that always bothered me about that because I'm like, well, that's weird. Why would you wait till the last possible moment
Yeah,
to go ahead and call Tarna, you know, the last of the Dactyl Riders, you know? And I don't know. That's just something that bugged me. But when the mutants were raiding the temple and killing everybody, they started playing the mob rules, you know? And I'm
yeah,
like, fuck, dude. I was because that movie, I don't care Like there were parts in that movie where the animation kind of sucked a little bit, you know, but
Got
it
a good
more than
charm
made
though.
up for it. Yeah, it more than made up for it with the music, you
Yep.
know, with the metal.
I wish they could put out another fucking good one, you know. But right
Yeah,
now
that
everything's
last
so
one.
tore up.
I think heavy metal lost the point of heavy metal a movie.
Yeah, and
You
then
know
the
what
well, I
I'm
mean, in their
saying?
publication now, man, it's like rusted aluminum. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because like it was supposed to be a collage of all these different stories from the magazine,
Yeah,
not just one character created by Bisley, you know, to take the place of Tarna. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I think they totally missed the point. I don't know, dude. Like, it was crazy. This is the inside cover to the
it's
last
pretty
one.
cool. These two
And yeah,
towers, huh?
yeah, I dig that. Like, it's some weird fucking like diesel punk like towers with these like lost souls running around in there, and these demon centurions like keeping them all in line. It's a trip, dude. Like they went way out of their way on this one.
Hmm.
It's one of the reasons I love this band.
Love seeing like the different. I don't know, like it's a really cool like world build like that. You know,
I I told you
something out of the
somebody
ordinary.
tried to adapt the Dio album, well, Holy Diver into a graphic novel.
Oh, really? Oh
Yeah, but
shit.
they don't. I don't think they knew what a graphic novel actually is
Mm.
because they it was like an illustration here and a story here. Turn a page, an
Yeah,
illustration here and story here. I'm like, that's
sounds
not a
like
graphic
pulp.
novel. That's yeah.
Sounds like a pulp novel.
I think so. I'm almost positive. Like I'm not. I'm sure we're gonna get to it, but here's another one that's kind of weird. Like they kind of. I think they lost Murray really, really quick
Right?
because the third album in the Dio franchise wasn't like this is the worst album art I've seen so
Whoa.
far. That's so weird, dude. I don't know. It's like reminds me of Puff the Magic Dragon or some shit
Yeah,
like
right.
that. Yeah. I know it's supposed to be super cool and I don't know.
Fun.
It just seems really larpy to me.
Yeah, it's kind of smoked out, I guess.
Yeah. He must have been smoking a lot of pot or some shit like
Yeah.
that. Vertigo in 1986. Yeah, here's another one that's kind of weird. I don't know. Strange. I wonder if he got a divorce at that point and his wife
Hmm.
didn't have any more input on what's cool to put on album art.
She, yeah, she's like, yeah, I'm out. He's like, well,
Well,
smoking another joint.
guess we suck now. Lock up the
This one looks
windows.
pretty fucking metal.
Yeah, I dig this one. Like a
This is
motherfucker.
badass.
Reminds me of the Wild Hunt, like in Irish lore. Was Dio
Yeah,
Irish? Or was he
he's Italian.
Italian?
Yep.
That makes a lot more sense that his grandma was doing this. Or his
Yeah.
grandpa. Get the evil out.
The Vorgs.
I don't know. This one's.
Vorg Riders. That one was pretty dope.
I love how these guys back in the day, like the metalheads, like they all wore leather. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
Like it was leather vests, studs, all this kind of
Leather
shit.
Rebel.
And then fucking, that turned into like the main dress for gay clubs.
Oh,
Back
yeah, for
then.
sure. The uniform.
Yeah, it was crazy, dude. Like I wonder if they knew that at the time. Like nobody wears this but you guys. Yeah. Hey, there's Murray again. Dude, this looks like fucking what's that dude's name? Dude. Hold on, if I'm right. Let's see here. Oh,
That one's
maybe
kind of
this is.
creepy, too.
It is, but it looks fucking familiar. Nope. God damn, I thought it was Steve Hudson that illustrated it. It looked like a
Well, we got Sim in
Nazi.
the chat. What up, Sim?
What's that dude that did oh god damn it, the Barbarian from Heavy Metal. Heavy Metal. He was in
Ooh,
Heavy Metal, a movie. Den. Who did Den?
oh, can't remember.
God damn it. That's what it looks like. It looks like the dude that did Den. What's up, Sim? No, no, it doesn't. No, this wasn't done by Drew Struzan. Corbin. You Richard Corbin. Yeah, that's what it
Mm.
looks like. This looks like a Richard Corbin piece. Like really close to a Richard Corbin
Yeah,
piece.
a little bit. Yeah, Corbin was a fucking G, man. That dude was doing
Yeah.
some crazy shit that they can't even explain what he was doing back
He
in the
had the
day.
coolest color choices too when it came to shit. You know.
Colors and like effects and all kinds of shit. He did a bunch of shit that didn't they didn't even know how he did it back then.
People figured it out. They figured it out now.
Yeah,
But he weighed heavy on his airbrush. One of the people that inspired me the most was Richard Corbin because
yeah,
what he said. You know, in an interview, they said like, what should an inspiring artist like do to to reach the level that you have, you know, in your painting. And he said any artist that is struggling with actually throwing down pencils should think about a career change because if you're
mm,
struggling with that doing paint, it's just out of your, you know,
yeah.
it's just not going to happen. You know.
I like no, I liked him from like a lot of his horror stuff, like was it Rat God and a lot of the Hellboy stuff he did. Um,
Oh yeah, dude. Like
but
he
he
did a
did
bunch of
so
shit that
many
was
like
crazy.
fucking magazine, like stoner magazines that like nobody even knew about, you know, like
Yeah,
crazy
yeah. I
colored
got a
and
bunch
painted
of them.
stuff with fucking weird techniques and shit that went like the way by the wayside that a lot of people don't even know about. It's fucking weird.
No, no. I got a few of them. Like a
Hmm.
buddy of mine owns a comic shop, and I was able to go ahead and just, you know, anytime I did any type of commissions for him, I would get a shopping spree over his comic shop.
Oh,
You
nice,
know,
nice.
and I like after a while, like you stop looking for the shit that's expensive, you know, and you just go for the stuff that's like not really expensive, but just like odd, you know,
Right,
in
right.
indie, you know, because that's the cool shit, you know. And after a while, that's what I was going for. Like I wasn't looking for anything that was super expensive or anything like that.
Right, right.
This is crazy.
Shit.
It's cool. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
He lost his damn mind.
Some aquatic badass, huh?
Dude, that is fucking sick.
Little
Little
psychedelic
monkey elves like
up at the
working on
top.
his brain. Dude, I don't even understand this. It's just badass. Is that a
Looks like
oh
some
dude?
things coming in there, clean his brain out,
Yeah.
right? Before it goes into a human
Do
brain
you,
going into a cyborg.
did you notice the the streams going into his brain are actually they have faces in them?
No, uh-uh.
See how close I can get to it.
Oh, I can see some skulls.
You see it right here?
Oh yeah,
That's crazy, dude.
baked out.
This is like some cool ass heavy metal shit. Gotta see who did that. Oh, Wendy, his wife moved up to to the management position
Oh
of
shit.
Dio's Will Reese did the illustration.
Hell,
So
genuine
it's
comics.
it's not a lot of names that I've heard of that did the illustration for Dio's albums. I wonder the only person is the like that was ever reached any type of fame was the one that did his first album.
Right. I remember Rainbow for sure was like his biggest album. Like
Yeah,
that song was, you know,
it's the rainbow and the dark.
yeah, he sounds cool. He just sounds badass. What we got here? Ooh,
Oof,
damn. Fucking dope.
sick son. Look at that.
It's just metal.
I wonder if he was reading 2000 AD around this time.
It's
Angry
funny. Like
Machines.
I was watching like RoboDoc. Have you seen RoboDoc yet?
What's that about?
Talking about like how like it's a 4 hour documentary on RoboCop where they get like the whole cast and everybody there.
Oh shit! Yeah,
Yeah,
y'all told me about that.
it's on fucking it's like I forgot the name of the streaming service, but if you have Amazon Prime, it'll take you to it. But it's just season 1, bro. Season 2 is RoboCop 2, season 3 is RoboCop 3, and season 4 is RoboCop the series. Like these fools are hard, like they're going in, you know. But anyways, they were talking about the inception of the creation of RoboCop, the writer, and they were talking. Yeah, we were reading some Judge Dredd and a lot of the fucking heavy metal comics, you know. Like, oh, you could totally see that shit, you know, in
Yeah,
RoboCop.
yeah. No, they had some fucking badass shit, dude. So,
I fucking love this. I love the color palette in here too. The
yeah, the
orange
colors
and
are awesome.
silver
For some
and
odd reason,
grays
like
and blue.
I don't know about you, but like I'm I'm more attracted to colors that hit all the primary colors. You know what I'm saying? Just you know, red, yellow, blue, and black. You know, like, but I noticed in here they like the main palette is red, yellow, blue, and black. But like if you notice, like it's just hints of purple, hints of green, and stuff like that, just to add a little bit of spice to it.
Yeah.
And it's cool. I don't know how that's not very insightful. And one thing I noticed, did you notice like they had a calligrapher on every one of the credits? Like somebody who actually did the Dio logo.
No, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah. Because back then there wasn't a lot of computer shit, so they just fucking
Right.
did it by hand.
That must have been fun doing that one, right? But
Yeah, I know, right?
not really, because it has to be perfect, you know. Logo design is just like an art form into itself. You know what I mean?
It is. It used to be anyway, until
Yeah.
some asshole came up with fucking Typesetter and Adobe Illustrator,
Oh yeah,
and
right.
put a lot of people out of work.
All these fonts and shit.
Somebody said that there was a like at the place where they did the dictionaries and shit like that. Like they had one lady, and her whole job was doing the nice fancy letters when it at the beginning of each chapter, like the A's or the G's or whatever. And once computers came along and they had like illustration programs and fonts, she was
Yeah.
going straight. I know
Oh
they
man.
had her do a couple and they scanned it in and used it as archives so they could just copy and paste it every time they need a letter, you know.
Mm,
And
that's crazy.
oh look, Dio finally put himself on the cover,
There
but
he
not
is.
really. Look at that shit. That's fucked up.
Maybe it's like a live one. It's got snakes and skulls, huh?
I think so.
That's a good name for an album. Snakes and skulls.
Snakes and skulls.
Real to the point.
Yeah, but look at a border.
Yeah. You got some snakes and some skulls, right?
It's got some humans, some
We got some other stuff.
monkey
Definitely
creatures.
tentacles. He's like, yeah, we're gonna need all this if I'm gonna be on the cover, huh?
Yeah, look at that minotaur.
Yeah,
You
just
see
staring
that
at
right
him.
at the top?
Yeah.
Dude, that's sick. A fallen angel.
Pretty badass. Border.
Damn, dude. And there's the priest from the first Dio album, right here in the corner.
He's still around, huh?
I don't see Murray. Do you see Murray anyway?
No. I bet you he's in there though.
You just can't see him.
Dio
When's the last?
confirmed Murray. That's what he's looking up. Oh, I love you, Murray.
I love you,
Oh.
Murray. Murray, take me away. Sick. Let's see here. Oof, tiny. Let me see if I can find a better copy of this one. Oh shit, forgot about that one. Master of the Moon. That's fucking sick.
Yeah, it's badass. I wonder who did that one.
I don't know. I haven't gotten to it on the other. I wonder what year that was
Looks
from.
kind of like Bisley a little bit, but not really. It's kind of
Yeah.
clean in some ways, the proportions, you know?
I wonder if that was done traditionally.
Almost look like Brereton a little bit too.
We're about to find out.
Dan Brereton.
Find out.
Find out, motherfucker.
About to find out. Mark Sasso.
Ah,
I've never heard of this guy, dude. That's what I'm
no.
saying. Like a lot of these guys are just complete unknowns.
Crazy, huh?
Looks like he done a couple of Dio albums and a couple of the rock albums, and that was it. I'm
Mm.
gonna take a side quest there. Oh wait, he also did that. Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it is pretty
He
dope.
was a bad motherfucker. I wonder this dude should have went into comics.
Right.
A lot of guys, they said a lot of guys didn't go into like great illustrators didn't go into comics because they didn't like doing page work.
Right.
I don't blame them. You know, fucking, if you're not used to it, it can be a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah, for sure. Ooh, that's badass.
Dude, it's fucking sick.
He's like, what type of what kind of cover is that? That's for my fans. That's for my customers. No, we're going to offer something better.
Dude, that's
They're
fucking
worshiping that
sick.
dragon.
Now they're holding it down. Well, he's got fucking skull earrings coming off his ear. See, they got him tied down. Looks like they're about to eat that motherfucker.
Oh yeah, dragon stew, man. You're about to have some dragon soup.
That's sick. All right, who did it? Who did it?
Who done it?
Who done did it? There's the inside cover. God, this
Ooh,
guy
nice
got
castle.
way on this one. You ever read the Dragonlance novels when you were
No,
younger? Never. This looks like illustrations from Forgotten Realms and Dragonlance.
Oh, nice.
ID Crisis had a duck out.
Later, brother.
Take it easy. You take it easy. Mark Sasso. Mark got a lot of work from Dio. That's back in the day when they actually got paid good money. I was watching an interview with Nick Cage, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, and because they're saying in the Flash movie, you remember, like Tim Burton was supposed to do a Superman film
Right, right.
back in the
With
day, and he cast Nick Cage
Nick
as
Cage, yeah.
Superman, and they had the suit made and everything like that.
Oh yeah, I've seen him in the dressing room. You've seen those videos?
But he was in that suit in the Flash movie.
Right. Yeah, I heard he like fought some monster in the I seen on TikTok.
But he never agreed to be in the Flash movie.
I heard that he went and did some fucking some voiceovers for the movie. Like I was reading about it, but I don't know if that's true or not.
Well, he said he was in a suit for 3 hours when he was with Tim Burton, and they took that footage and he's a huge he hates AI, right?
Yeah. He hates AI. I seen that shit on fucking TikTok the other day. He was talking about it like in an interview.
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
said he doesn't think it was AI because he knows how much Tim Burton hates AI, right?
I think he said he went there for 2 days, right?
Yeah, not there.
For
He
the for
was
the
when
flash, for the flush.
I don't think so. Like he was talking about when he was with Tim Burton. Like he tried to suit on with with
Mm,
the designer of the suit with for Tim Burton's movie and stuff like that. And he said he was there for like 3 hours in the suit, and they took that footage. And he said he thinks they used um like what was it? He sounded like he was pissed off
mm,
because from what he said that they explained it to him like he'd just be watching a galaxy like destroy itself, you
right.
know. And then when he went to go see the movie, he's fighting a spider, and
Yeah.
he was like, I never did that, he's like, I never posed for that, he's like, he thinks it It wasn't AI. It was FX. You know, and
Always.
but he was like, yeah, if it was AI, that would really fucking piss me off. You know, you know, like because a lot of actors aren't playing that game, dude, because they don't like their likenesses being used in that way. And
Right.
hopefully they'll see it from the artist's perspective too. You know, like we don't like our work being put into a generator
Right.
and spit out in somebody else's book. You know, um, Murray's back
Whoop whoop.
for Holy
That's
Diver
Murray.
Live.
About to whoop somebody.
To
About to
whoop
whoop that
somebody.
ass.
Looks like they just copy and pasted it from the old album art. Murray. Yeah, but I didn't realize like they really pulled out all the stops to make that movie successful. Like The Flash, like they put Michael
Yeah.
Keaton in there. They
Can't lose
put Nick.
situation.
Yeah, dude, like they put Nicolas Cage. You know, all these people. Like it was all these Easter eggs to like entice fans to go see it. You
Right.
know, but it's and they also said that James Gunn undid everything that was established in Justice League and every other movie before that, including about Black Adam. You know what I'm saying? Like with Superman, and he refuses to work with Henry Cavill to play Superman. Like so Henry's out as far as Superman for any of the future James Gunn like DC movies because he said that he refuses to work with actors that are difficult to work with.
Ooh.
And everybody's like, but Henry Cavill was, he's not difficult. Like I don't
Pretty
know,
easy going.
but you'd work with this. What's his name? Ezra Miller. I guess
Mm-hmm.
is that his name?
Yeah,
On the
little crackhead.
Flash. Yeah, they said, but you'd rather work with that dude with a felony on his record. Is that that's what you're
Yeah,
saying?
it's fucking madness.
It's crazy, dude. Like complete fucking nuttiness.
Hmm.
Dude, why are they putting such fucking small ass images on him? I can't blow them up.
This one looks pretty badass too.
I can't tell if it's a photo or if it's a illustration. It kind of looks like a shitty illustration. Well, maybe not shitty, just really comic booky.
Right.
Who did that? Who did that illustration for live deal? No credits. You bastards. Looks like they're just putting out live albums at this point.
Right.
I heard that they had put out a couple of new albums before Dio died. When did Dio die? Do you remember?
It wasn't that long ago. Well, actually, man, probably was, man. Probably like 10 years ago, maybe.
Shit, then all it is, this explains all the live albums then.
Yeah.
Because I guess this old lady's like trying to cash in a little bit.
Get them live bucks.
Yeah, because these are reissues and live albums. Hopefully they don't do like they did with
Yeah, Last of the Mohicans in there.
all this shit's live, dude. Like I think this is after Dio's death. Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty badass. You think like Murray's like a real person or a god, and Dio made a deal with him to
Yeah, I think he's probably like God mode for sure.
so he's hanging out with Murray in the afterlife.
Yeah.
Dude,
Simpletons.
I got to see who did this. Mark Sasso did the painted cover. Mark got better. Way better. Jesus. Shit, Mark's got to be an old man now. Let's see something here. I want to see these faces.
That's Dio right
Oh,
there.
it's a priest. It's the priest from the first album.
Dio right there too. He's got something in his hand.
A microphone.
I'm gonna drop this mic.
Dude, that's cool. I like all the Walking Dead at the bottom. It's badass.
It is pretty metal.
Everybody's like, Preston's got his browser open. You get to see all the porn he's been looking at. Nobody's watching. Nobody. It's weird for some odd reason. I don't see any. Okay. There it is. Look at that shit.
That's fucking badass, dude. I wonder who
That's
did
what I was
that.
looking for. Yeah, that's fucking sick, dude. They didn't have any credits
Yeah,
for the artist.
man.
See if they got it here. Primary. Well, no, that's singer. Okay. No, it just says art direction, Stuart Green, and the other one doesn't have anything as far as the artist. Dude, that is a sick fucking piece.
Seriously.
And what was? I mean, it was during that age when digital was actually popular.
Right,
You know,
right.
digital. I mean, it's possible. It was in early 2000. Was digital popular in early 2000s?
I think so.
No, there's no artist listed. That sucks.
Hmm.
I don't know. Anyway, that's the. Let's see here. Let me see if I can find that the Dio graphic novel. Then we're gonna look at some Matt's work. I can't see my keyboard.
Dio's fucking badass, dude.
Yeah, I used to love Dio. I get together with a couple of guys once a week and go ahead and play some music. I think I'm gonna bring out Holy Diver next time we play.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
Dun,
like
dun, 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 dun.
we've been warming up to some Fu Manchu and Danzig because I like Twist the Cane. You know, it's a fun song to do.
Yeah.
And but I never thought about doing Holy Diver. Like that's really there's not like a cover song to bring everybody together so you can start working on original shit.
Right.
Holy Diver. Yeah, that's it right here.
Holy diver.
Fuck,
That
what's
almost looks
who's
like a
that
comic
piece?
book cover. Steve Niles, Bill Sienkiewicz.
That's a bunch of
That's
comic book guys.
yeah, it's Bill Sienkiewicz. That's pretty big. Or Sienkiewicz. I'm sorry. Sienkiewicz is a big name. The
But the thing
infamous.
is, I don't see any they're not showing me anything on the inside. Like let's see here. Oh shit. This is the graphic novel I remember. Wait, that's because this ain't the graphic novel. That's the X-Men. There it is.
Oh,
Okay. This is yeah, that's it. That's the one I remember. So I
pterodactyl.
think this is the inside of it. Yeah, the Holy Diver graphic novel. They're being real stingy with the interiors.
Right.
Yeah, but that's, I don't know, dude. That artwork, it looks like a money grab to me. You know?
Looks like a face with a mustache. But
Yeah.
then when you zoom out, it looks like the team of guys.
It looks like the worst possible. Like I think if you're gonna do something like this, it should look some like you should have the same quality art as the album covers. You know, I don't think Dio would have approved of this.
Right. Too
This
orange
looks
down.
like some really cheap Greg Land type of work where they just trace faces. I'm not digging it.
It's like,
That's the best illustration I've seen so far. Is that dragon? You know,
yeah, Dragon's about to do some business.
yeah. It's like get out of here, motherfucker.
Pretty
Ain't nobody wants you here. Now that's cool.
much. That's badass.
Yeah. They should
That's
just
like
hire
him with
that guy.
wings.
Yeah.
Super uber badass.
I watched a movie the other night called um it was called something the Hunted, Night of the Hunted or something like that. And so this chick was like cheating on her old man, you know, and she was like she was with her boyfriend. He thought she was on a business meeting or something like that. And so he's calling her, you know, they're talking and whatever. And as soon as her boyfriend walks in to go in the bathroom, she hangs up the phone. She's like, "All right, I gotta go. Bye." You know. And I'm like, "That bitch is cheating on her old man." My wife's, "You
Right.
don't know that?" And I was like, "No, I know."
I know it.
Yeah. And I was right, right? So they go into this they go into this gas station to get gas because he's like, "Fuck, I filled up last night. Why is my tank empty?" You know, and she's like, "I told you to fill up." He goes, "I did. I filled up last night." So he gets to the gas station. He's pumping gas, and the camera zooms like goes under the car, and as he's pumping gas, it's leaking out. Somebody punctured his gas tank with a screwdriver. You know,
Yeah, that's
and
crazy, man.
yeah, so he's pumping gas, and she goes into the store, and so she's like, she gets all the shit she needs, you know, and she's waiting, you know, for the clerk, and she goes up to the desk, and she's like, "Fuck, where's this fucking bitch?" You know, and she's looking outside, and she sees her old man, and she goes back, and she's like, she's waiting some more, and then she looks, and she notices the sign behind the counter is just
Mm.
splattered with blood, you
Oh
know,
fuck.
and she's like, "Oh fuck," like you said. So she
Yeah.
starts walking towards the exit, and dude shoots her. You know,
Oh
sniper
wow.
just takes like fucking hits her right in the arm. And this
Damn.
dude was good, dude, because he split her arm, like he grazed her, right, just
Yeah.
enough to go and open her up. So she's like, "Yeah, Night of the Hunted," and so she crawls back, and she's like, and every time she lifts her head up a little bit, he fucking sends a shot through the window, you know,
Yeah.
and they have this sign across the street, like this huge billboard, and it says, now the way I read it, because all the
Hmm.
words ran together, you know,
Right.
and me
Right.
and my wife had two different perspectives on it because I was like, that's cool. It says God is nowhere, you know, and she goes, "I think it says God's now here."
Mm. Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit. I was like, I think you're right. But you can also take it as God is nowhere because there's no
Right.
periods or anything. All the words just run together, you know? And the
Yeah.
dude is on that sign, like somewhere, is just fucking nailing his chick, right?
Oh, for sure.
So her old man's like sitting in the car after pumping gas. And he's like waiting and waiting. And she's like trying to signal to him and whatever. And she tries to reach her phone because when the dude hit her in the arm, she dropped her phone, you know,
Oh
on the
shit.
floor.
Yeah.
So she's like, "Fuck, I gotta get that phone." So she goes out there and she starts reaching for the phone like really slowly. I'm like, "You stupid motherfucker." And my wife's like, "Yeah, if you're gonna do that, you gotta do it quick. Like you gotta
Right.
snatch that shit and go back." Well, as she's getting closer to the phone, dude zaps the phone with a fucking bullet, right? It just
Damn.
fucking explodes all over the place. So her boyfriend, he's finally like, "God damn it, let me go see what the fuck's taking her so long." So he goes in there and he's like, what are you doing?" And she's hiding behind all kinds of shit, and there's blood coming out of her. And he's like, "What the fuck's going on?" And he raises his arm like that, and a bullet goes right through his chest.
Mm.
And he's like, what the fuck? And so he's like, what? And he starts to go down. She goes to reach for him, and another one hits his carotid artery, you know, and he just starts spewing blood all over the place. Dude, this movie was brutal.
I have to check
Like,
this shit out, man.
it was sick. And then it got a little bit political, like because dude's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you think this, you woke, and you fucking cost people jobs and all this kind of like, and then she's getting all pissed off and she's like, I cheat on my husband because I'm in pain. And I was like, yeah, whatever, dude. I was like,
Paying to
yeah,
get some dickums.
yeah, exactly. And
uh,
dude, it was just fucking crazy, dude. And she finally, and then she starts throwing batteries at the lights, and so she gets them to go out, and fucking, and then she's like roaming around there in the dark.
oh
And it,
man.
it turns out the dude sniped. It was the dude's old lady that was working behind a counter,
Mm,
and she was
crazy.
cheating on him,
It's
you know.
fucked up.
So he took her out,
Yeah.
and anybody, he was just fucking looking to take out, like waste some bullets, I guess, because he
Yeah.
was already in the perch, or he was waiting for his girl's boyfriend to walk in there so he could take him out too.
Yeah.
And I think he did. He did take him out too. Like,
Damn.
I started falling asleep towards the end of the movie because around 2 o'clock I started getting like, ugh,
Yeah. Yeah.
and but no, dude, it was so good, and I think it was like it was it was one of the few movies that came out of Shudder that was
Hmm.
actually decent. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. I need to get my subscription with them, man. I still got to go back and watch all the Creep Show.
I don't. I dropped my subscription because like the content on there was so horrible. Like they
Right.
never really had really good content.
Yeah.
When Brian first told me about Shudder, I was like, dude, this is fucking amazing. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
the
Right.
greatest thing ever, right? I mean, a whole like thing just dedicated to horror, and they're putting out
Yeah.
original content. I was like, dude, I'm fucking sign me up.
Exactly.
And but then once I got on there, I was like, they had like two good movies, and that was it. And like not really any of the classics, like all the Hellraisers or anything like that,
Right.
And then I realized like you go to Tubi and get all the shit they got on Shutter except better.
Yeah. Hundred
And
percent.
I don't know, dude. It tripped me out. But yeah, the only thing I really liked on Shutter, they had this dude who went around interviewing like horror, guys, and he
Yeah.
interviewed Glenn Danzig,
Oh,
you know,
really?
and it was one of the
Crazy.
few. Yeah, but it was one of the few interviews where Glenn wasn't like all angry and shit, and he was
Yeah.
like, he actually opened up and talked
Oh,
about it,
nice.
and talked about his punk days and how he trained with the same guy who trained Bruce Lee and all kinds of shit like that, and he had photos with him, and it was yeah, it was really cool actually, and how he was creating his movies now and shit like that. Of course his movies suck, but whatever. And yeah, I mean it was pretty badass. But that was the only good thing about it. Like I never really seen anything like other than that was cool about Shutter. You know, uh, yeah, that really sucked. I don't know. But they had this other movie, and it was called
Guys,
57 Seconds.
57 seconds.
I don't really like it that much. The dude had a ring that could bring him back in time 57 seconds. And it had
Power ring.
yeah, it was crazy. It was like a black ring. Every time you touch it, it turns white. But you go back 57 seconds, and it turned black once it recharged.
Crazy.
But it was the same dude that played in Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh,
I don't know. It just
that movie's
it just
blowing up, man. They did like I think 300 million already.
it's good, dude. Like I really liked it. I thought it was
Oh, you
cool.
saw it?
Yeah. It was. The premise of the movie is that the characters over at Five Nights at Freddy's are dead kids.
Oh, wow.
Put inside these machines.
Oh, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, and dude, it's nuts. Like they
That
had
fool's doing Spawn too. That producer Blum,
is he
Jason
really?
Blum. Yeah,
Dude, that's
yeah. I
fucking
read an interview
cool.
with him. He's like, yeah, like I think Todd just found it because Todd was supposed to direct it, Todd McFarlane, but then he was just like, I think he gave him like threw in the towel.
My friend Alan, I was telling you about that, used to do work for the Misfits and stuff like that. He did work
Yeah.
for Planet of the Apes. He posts the reason why I knew they had a Five Nights at Freddy's movie is because he posted on Facebook because he's in charge of the prop house, right?
Mm, yeah.
And he posted a picture of him holding the face of one of
Oh,
the robots
Teddy's.
from Five
Yeah.
Nights at Freddy's, you know, and I was like, holy shit, dude, you know, like he
100%.
gets, dude, he's got so much shit from doing that stuff, like from the X-Men, Wolverine, and shit like that, you know,
Yeah.
like he was saying, the claws in Old Man Logan, right?
Yeah.
Every time he pops his claws, like those are plastic, you know.
Right. Right.
They have a guy back there that makes them on when they break them because they keep breaking them on set, you know.
Always.
And yeah, so he and the deal is that he's not supposed to make any unless you know Hugh Jackman breaks a pair. So then he makes them on demand. That way they're not
Mm,
sneaking out the back door or anything like that. And
kind of makes
I don't
sense.
know, that tripped me out because I don't know. They have websites where you can just buy metal ones. I don't know why they just never did that.
Yeah. Seriously.
But some of the fight scenes, though, there would have been some injured motherfuckers on that. I don't know. It trips me out, dude. You got any new work out there, Matt?
Me? Um,
Yeah.
not too much. I mean, a little bit. Got a couple things out there, but still
One
working
of
on
the
some stuff.
things I enjoy about this is going to your Twitter page and showing off your stuff.
Oh, we should show off your stuff, man.
Everybody knows my stuff. At least I hope they do. If they don't, well, that'd fucking suck. But hold on, let me bring this up. Such a noob, I tell you.
Yeah, Dio's definitely got the better mascot, man.
I think so. I always liked Eddie. Eddie's gonna always hold a special place in my heart because that's like that inspired me to do like more metal looking work.
Oh yeah, that's Steve
Who's
Niles. He got
that?
the new Kelly Jones Batman book that him and Kelly Jones are writing. I just tweeted that
Get
out,
the
and
fuck out of here.
yeah,
God, Kelly Jones is so good, dude.
he is. And
His
he's drawn.
style
He's
doesn't
drawn
ever
like the
change.
bat wings like a little different now. They look pretty cool, like these weird spike kind of flares. I don't know. It's weird.
He
I haven't
did
seen really
that
anybody.
in Blood Rain and Blood Mist, Bloodstorm, all those books. Like he had fun with Batman's wings, dude. Like
Yeah,
in some scenes, the wings like his cape would be part of him. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And the claws of his hand would be part of this of the cape. You know, the wing.
yeah.
And then in some other scenes, they wouldn't. You know, and it was that's what I was saying. Like he's such a good artist, dude. He's really really good at doing that shit. Dude, you don't post your work?
I do a little bit. I mean, mine's. I have some work posted at the top. I posted like a couple hours ago. This little tease. That right there.
That one right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my character Hell War. It's like this is character that he kind of morphs into in the book called the Hellbinger, and yeah, that's kind of him stuck in Morphosis right there, Metamorphosis.
Is it kind of like Slain, where whenever he turns into his beast mode, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not like like his features are off. You know, like one arm's small and one arm's huge, and he
Oh
goes into
no,
this berserker like crazy looking.
he does go into like kind of like a berserker mode, but he has to change. This is just kind of like that whole page right there. Like I have different. That's just like kind of like a panel out of that page, but the paneling is kind of like all over the place. You know what I mean? Like there's no real panel. It's kind of like little stages of him transforming. But I didn't want to
And you
show the whole page, so I just kind of showed the corner of it.
and you got
Um,
it covered up by.
yeah, I got
Oh,
it
that's
covered
why
up.
you got it covered up on another page.
Yeah, so I covered it up.
Smart.
Got a little amp right there.
I love teasing shit out, dude. I think that's where I have the most fun. Is just I don't sometimes I don't like showing a whole page. I just want to show just a little bit, just like
That's
a
one I did
panel.
from last week too up there.
This one,
Yeah, that's actually Hell War. He's chilling,
I
playing
like
his
that
guitar,
guitar. Yeah, it's a battle
and
axe.
I got really exaggerated with the anatomy. I mean, that's not realistic the way the head's sitting in you know, chest and whatnot. But I kind of really wanted to. I don't know. I've been really inspired by like this crazy like upper body stuff. Really
Yeah.
swole, and he's playing his tunes, having a beer, and yeah, there's a biker gang coming to his humble abode, and he's got one of them chained up in his van. But he, little does he know, there's something going on in the midst while he's trying to kick back and chill for a minute.
You know, you you sing, but I play guitar, and I was when I was practicing like a couple of weeks ago, I brought my Marshall head, and I really like this head. You know what I'm
Oh yeah,
saying,
Marshall's the shit, dude.
dude? Well, I wasn't.
That's what
I
we
kind of
used back
got
in the day all the time.
I like those are the old DSLs, right? The
Yeah,
Marshall DSLs,
yeah,
and I those sound fucking amazing, but they're usually those are tube heads, you know. And
yeah.
Marshall put out something called the Marshall MG 100s, you know,
Hmm.
DS FX DSL, FXDS or something like that,
Yeah,
or HGs, and they put those out maybe 10 years ago, and people like I've heard a lot of people say like they hated them, you know, because it's Marshall, it's a solid state Marshall, like there's no
yeah,
tubes involved. And
right.
then other people are like, nah, dude, it's fun. Like Cannibal Corpse used that to put out their album, and I'm like, all right. So I managed to get a whole half stack from a guy for like $400 or whatever.
Nice.
So, no, it wasn't 400. It was 250. And so together it sounds really good. But I noticed that amp, like it's not made to be used as a practice amp, right?
I see.
Because when I had it here, and I never had it turned up. Like I never got the crunch that I was looking for.
Right, right.
But when I had it over at my buddy's place, and I busted out my Schecter
Mm,
with the Fishman uh, uh, pickups, the active Fishmans,
yeah, Schecters are
and
dope.
yeah, well, this Schecter I got from Reverb, and
Oh,
it
okay.
was it was done with a trade. Like I traded some art to a guy, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll get you a guitar, any guitar you want." So I was like, "All right, I want a Schecter V." The first one I wanted was a Schecter Platinum, V, because that came with the MGs with the push pull, option,
Right.
and that got discontinued, you know. So I went with the Schecter Hellraiser, because
Uh,
that came with the push pull option too. But
mm,
this guy fucked me because he said, "Yeah, it's stock." I got it in, and there was no push pull anything. Somebody traded out the
oh,
old EMGs for new ones, and redid the whole setup. So I was like, "Well, dude, fuck that." So that's why I upgraded to the Fishmans, and the Fishmans are used in the new uh, Epiphone Prophecies. You know
oh,
what I'm
wow.
saying? So, and I've heard nothing but good things about the Fishmans. So I got a set of Fishmans, and I put them in there, and for some odd reason, through any other amp, they sound really trebly, right? But
Mm,
through that Marshall, it was
yeah,
like
Marshalls are the
synchron,
shit,
dude. It was synchronicity, dude. It was like they
dude.
just went together like it was
You,
crazy. You know
you know what other amp was really fucking dope back in the day, like 20 years ago?
what you got?
For sure. Like it was the fucking Eddie Van Halen PV 5150 amp,
Yeah, dude.
Marvel
People
half stack.
still, dude. They
That shit was
still use
fucking
those
dope.
5150. Like those 5150s, you'd be hard pressed to find one under $1,000
I
just for the
remember.
head. You know. But anyway, I was at practice, and another thing that Marshall worked good with was my wireless system. So I could
Yeah,
plug in my wireless system and
yeah.
go ahead and use it with Marshall. So the drummer was having a hard time hearing me. So instead of doing like any smart person would do, would be like link the cabinets. I was
Yeah,
like, fuck it, just use both ports on the back and just plug one cabinet into each port, right, of
yeah.
the amp, and blew the amp up.
Mm, mm, mm.
And at first I thought I blew a fuse, right? So I'm like,
Right.
okay, well I blew a fuse, no big deal. But then something in the back of the head's like, in my head is like, but why did you blow a fuse? Something had to go really wrong for a fuse to blow in his head, and you know that, but you're just fooling yourself. So I was like, okay, well, a fuse only costs like $2. So
Right.
spent the $2. Amazon shipped it to me, no shipping. Put the fuse in, the light barely blinked before it blew the new fuse.
Oh man.
I was thinking about fixing it myself. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
but then a buddy of mine who works on these were like, dude, it's literally a $200 head. He was like, you can get another one for $200. He was
Right,
like,
right.
but that capacitor is bigger than your fist, and it holds enough power to kill your ass if you fuck up. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Yeah.
like that motherfucker's got a point. Because I remember when I was younger, my parents were so against me being an artist. They were like, look, you're
That
not going to be
sucks,
an
man.
artist. You're going to go into electronics. And I was like, okay, well, parents
Right.
know best, so I'll do electronics. Because I fell into that group that were like,
Yeah.
because they convinced me that I should go into electronics because I need to secure my future. You know?
In a
So
way, that's cool, but then in a way, it sucks. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
because then you're doing something you hate. You know?
Yeah, my
And
parents let me do whatever the fuck I wanted. You know what I mean? And
exactly.
it's
You
kind of like
know?
good. Both of our situations are good and bad, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's but then you as you get older, you realize like that bullshit about securing your future. Sometimes it works. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Other times it absolutely does not work. The company
I
will go
mean,
like
for
out of
you, it didn't. I
business.
mean, for
You
you, it's
know?
like you're Preston, dude. Like now I know who you are. You know, like for you, you just had to be Preston, like exactly who you are. You know?
Well, my whole
So
thing was proving them wrong. So when I
yeah,
got into art, I decided to learn everything about art. Like anything that will make me money about with art, I
it's
learned.
weird
You know what
because
I'm
like
saying? Like,
because of them, like you are Preston though too. That's another thing. You know, because of the proving. You know,
well,
like in
what
the
we used to do in
grind and
like
like
I
the
know,
shit
right?
you had to
Like
go through, like
I
you
don't know if
wouldn't
I
be
could
who
do
you
that
are.
again though. Now that I think
Fucking
about it,
weird.
like that shit was hard, dude. Like,
You know what I mean?
but when I was a kid and I was in electronics class, a kid, I was like 18 years old, right? All right,
Yeah, that's a
17 or
kid.
18 years old.
That's still a kid.
Well, we used to charge those capacitors up and leave them around the. But it
Oh
wasn't
man.
big ones; it was small ones, about like
Yeah,
this
yeah,
big, and it would just be enough to like you got a zap from a taser or something like that, you know. And
yeah,
eventually I quit electronics because I could not fucking stand it, dude. I hated it. I knew I was wasting my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like
yeah. No, I
it's
hear you,
like
brother.
you get pulled in one direction so hard
Yeah,
that anything else just feels you. Two things happen. You feel guilty, and you feel like you're wasting time. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it was with me and art. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? Like I was pulled in that direction so hard that it was like anything else was just it just never it was like you might as well just commit suicide, dude, because that's what you're doing. You know, you're going
yeah,
against
yeah.
your nature. And so I quit, and the first words out of my mom's mouth was like, don't ask me for anything from here on out. You're completely on your own." You
Oh
know,
wow, yeah,
and I was like, "Okay."
yeah, right,
I don't care, you
right,
know.
right. You're like, all
But
right.
yeah, it was like, all right, I don't care. I mean, and then you know what's even worse
Uh,
about that because I listened to her and I listened to them, you know, and they were like, oh, electronics, you know, whatever.
yeah,
You can't get a job doing electronics nowadays because electronics back then was fix a TV, you
yeah,
know,
right.
or fix a microwave or fix, you know,
Fix my
rewire
iPad.
this.
Fix my TV. Yeah, fix my
People
fridge.
don't do that, dude. Like if
No,
some shit is so cheap now, like
you just throw it
they
away
don't
and buy a
charge
new
you
one.
$100, $200 to fix a TV. You could buy a brand new TV for
Yeah.
300
No, you're
bucks.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
You're
Like,
100%
and
right.
not a small one. I'm talking about like a fucking big ass
Big motherfucking
50
TV.
inch, fucking 60-inch TV, dude.
Yeah,
Like the
yeah,
TV I got for my wife and me for the bedroom, it's like 59 inches, something like that, you
yeah,
know? And
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
fucker was like literally, no, it was 250
yeah.
for it. And
Exactly.
that's not Black Friday. That was
Yeah,
like
no.
2 months before. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, dude. I got a Samsung like a 60-inch for like $500, dude. Like for me, that I thought that
exactly.
was pretty good. You know, it
But
was
that's
like,
what I'm saying. Like if I would have listened to him, you know what I'm saying? Like I
no,
would
you're right.
literally be starving right now or working for McDonald's or some shit because there is no jobs in electronics.
Mm-mm.
Like
There's fucking Geek Squad at Best Buy.
yeah, but that's fixing computers. They weren't teaching us
Exactly.
to fix it was back in a time when computers were fucking there was no Windows, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like computers were
Yeah.
like you type in like 6 pages of code to have like a little house all bitmapped. And I'm not talking about like small bit, I'm talking about big blocks of bitmap on a
Yeah.
screen. and fucking you have smoke coming out the chimney. And that was 3 days of typing in code, dude. So
Right.
yeah, there was no we're fixing computers now. And that's another thing too, like fixing computers, you know what they do? They're like, yeah, that board's bad, order another one.
Yeah.
That's what they do. It's not like, hey, bring this board to Preston and let him go knock out a couple of transistors and pull. No,
Yeah,
dude,
like
that's
solder shit.
no, exactly, because shit is so cheap. It's cheaper to go and replace that board than
The
buy
whole board.
solder.
Yeah, you just like unscrew it and screw it back in, or
Exactly,
like a
dude.
battery or something.
Oh, it's horrible. And that's like, and that plays in my head every time I an idea. Like, am I going down the right path? And I start thinking, I'm like, if I would have listened to those motherfuckers, and then I'll tell you this right now, like once, and what they say is true. Like once you get your foot in the art field, it's almost impossible to get out of. You know, you'd really have to fuck up to like
Mm. Yeah,
not get another job in the art field. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
that's where I want to be, man. I gotta learn how to do more shit, but
well, the
that's my
most
dream.
like a lot of the stuff I learned on the job. And then
Yeah,
back in the day when I used to work for like these companies, they actually had an art room full of artists that I would go into work, I'd go to my desk, put in an order for the supplies I needed, and then
that's
I'd be working with a bunch of other artists. And each of the
yeah,
other artists had different supplies that they needed because you had one that liked the pastel paint, one that did watercolor, and all these other different guys. So you'd look over their shoulder and learn what they know.
right,
And it was like on the job training, except you also learn to be quick,
right.
and not get fired.
Got to be quick, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You
So,
have to be quick or you get fired.
well, that brings me to now. Like that's
Yeah,
why I can work on so many books now. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Because
yeah.
like the other day, like I spent the weekend like doing thumbnails and
Nice,
printing
nice.
out printing out those thumbnails like in blue line so I
Oh,
can I
okay.
can detail them,
That's cool, man.
But I
That's
got sets, right? And
right,
the way
right.
it works is every time I finish a cluster of 5 pages or more, I
Hmm.
get to work on one non-devils page,
Ah,
right?
okay, okay.
So, and I can only spend a day on that non-devils page, except for that 2 page spread. That was actually 2 pages. So
That
I
was
actually
sick,
went
dude.
overboard on that. So it actually took me like a week to do that one,
Fuck it, man. It's worth it, man. It looks so good.
Kinda, but like I was like, God damn it, because you set these rules for a reason.
Yeah, no, you got to
And
have rules.
one of the reasons is so you can make your bills, so you can do Christmas.
You have to have the rules, but then they're the. I mean, they're there to fall back on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what they're there for. You have to have them, but you gotta. I mean, I don't like to say rules are there; they're made to be broken, but you do gotta have them. You know what I mean?
When it comes to certain things, like as far as things that are creative, you can break
Yeah,
those rules. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? But when it comes to things that are more financial, you kind of don't want
There
to
we
break them
go.
too much.
This is
Um,
what I'm talking about, man. Fuck. When did you do this, and how long did this take you?
you see, this is the thing. Like, and I know you're gonna think I'm full of shit, but I don't I don't know if I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I go overboard, and
Hmm.
then I second guess myself while I'm doing shit. And like with this one, like I roughed it out, and
Okay.
then hold on, wait, let me get this off of here. Yo, what's up, Zaid? And I didn't know if it was gonna work because the page layout was weird and all that kind of stuff. But I was like, and the
Yeah.
parts with Satan, like Satan get his horn. I redrew this panel like 4 times, and I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm still happy with it. Oh, you can't hear me? Can you hear me? Let me see here. No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not flexing. I swear to God. My mic volume's low. Hold on. Let me see if I can turn it up. And I wonder if I'm going through the right mic. Shit. God damn it. Fucking Phil.
He's fucking with you.
I hope he's fucking with me. That'd be fucked up if you are because I'm totally falling for it.
What up, Dillard? We got John Dillard in the chat. And we got Jason Bascom. What up, Bascom?
Hold on. Let me see here. I think.
No, I mean this page is. I mean, I ain't gonna blow no smoke up your fucking ass, but I mean this page is exquisite. I just want to know how long it took you to do it. You know what I mean, and what your process was.
I think I am a little low.
You're a little low, but I mean, I can hear you.
Let's see here. There's a way to turn it up. I just got to figure it out real quick.
Maybe turn up a tiny cunt here.
Yeah. I hope I'm going through the right mic. I'm having trouble with my audio today. And it's messing with me. Oh, shoot. Let's see here. Here we go. How's that? Is that better? I hope it's better.
A little bit.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, when I was doing this, like I said, every 5 pages of somebody else's book to get the bills paid, I go ahead and I get to work on one non-Devils page, you know. And God damn it, I can't find the fucking thing. God damn fucking Phil.
I think it was on my reshare.
I got it. There it is. All right. So with this one, what I wanted to do at first, I was gonna have like just a knight right here, and then I was gonna have like a ninja flying through the air and shit like that, coming after the spider creature.
Yeah,
and the spider creature was actually going to have a human head at first, but then I was like, nah, that's not really a demon. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
yeah,
if you're going to separate humans from demons in hell, you know, you really want to separate them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to make them like fucking anime beast. You know? So that's what I decided to do with this. Like, do kind of this crab spider creature, you know, a demon samurai and a demon fucking Apache warrior where he's getting stabbed through the heart and shit like that. Now that this is like the Hell Knight that was the important one to me. It was like supposed to be a black knight in like on Earth, but when he died, you know, he's a black knight in hell.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is the head of that demon creature in the front, like right here. So it, you know, and I don't think I'm done with it, because if I'm going to go black and white and red with the flashback, I think I'm gonna go back and paint it with some like grays and shit like that.
What are you gonna use? What kind of are you gonna use?
Watercolor, just some watercolor.
Yeah. Oh, no shit.
I was thinking of using ink, but the problem with ink is that ink is just not forgiving at all.
Yeah,
dude.
no,
Like,
I hear you, man. There's like no nuance with ink.
Yeah, like if you like
nuance with ink.
No, dude. Like if you decide like I want a little thick right there, you can't
like
go back and
wash
it out.
Personally, if I could do what you did right here, I would fucking. This is all I would do. I wouldn't even fucking do anything else. And I would just do it like you've been doing, you know?
I think it'll work, just not. I don't know, dude. Like I think it'll work if it was colored, but I don't think I'm gonna color it like the flashbacks like that. I think I'm gonna add the flashbacks to where it's like.
Because you do all you don't ink most of the time. You just do pencils and different shades of pencils, right? Since
the first stock Salem, I haven't inked another page. You know,
and you're saying like, well, the reason why I do that is like why work twice, you know?
Exactly, dude. What's the point? Yeah. And I told you, like, you can take lead, shave lead down, mix it with alcohol and water, and just, dude, you could use that exactly like ink. Like you could spray it on the page, you know, and wash it in and stuff like that. And then if you're not quite happy with it, you can take your thumb and like manipulate it that way too, because it's lead. You know, you can do, and alcohol keeps it from warping your page too much. So
I'm gonna have to do that like on my next I'm gonna have to experiment with that more, because I've always like, prior to you, I really liked Eric Powell. I still do.
Oh, dude, I fucking love Eric Powell's
one of my main influences.
Work. Yeah.
But what he did with pencil and color pencil, just really scratchy and just so much fucking awesome, dude. You
know, I've been using a little bit of color pencil too, like white and black whenever I do stuff.
Yeah.
To go ahead and just make it a little bit more interesting. You know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a piece that I did with that. It was Sims. Was it this? No, it was Sim's piece for fucking what was it? God damn it! I had such a bad memory, dude. I had the worst memory. This. Oh wait, this is one I used it on.
Up in the corners, huh?
Yeah, and I think on her a little bit. I also used two different types of lead. Like, yeah, you see it right there. That's all alcohol and shaved lead that I used on there to go ahead and get those splatter effects. It looks exactly like ink. Like you
It
can't
does.
tell, you know.
I mean,
And
like
then
even if it's not ink, like this is just as good as ink. It's fucking beautiful, you know,
but you
and
can,
it's flattering as fuck, you know.
yeah, and plus you can take your thumb and you can smear it in and do like a smear. You know what I'm saying? And it works out really well, dude. And this is what I'm saying. Like, why this almost looks like, and I'm not comparing myself to Silvestri, but a lot of Silvestri's old work when he used to do stuff for Cyberforce and stuff like that. I'll be straight, dude. It looked like this, and I always suspect like Silvestri never really inked his work. Like he used some ink, but he let the pencils go through as far as like shading. And I said the same thing about Dale Cohen's work, Dale Keown, and I was right after asking Dale. Dale was like, "Yeah, fuck no, I never inked." It's like, why ink if you got tight pencils? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
Yeah. Like this. So this kind of
I
basically
totally
falls back on you and like Del Keown. That's a Diller. What's up, Diller? Yeah. See,
I'm missing out on the chat. Like the chat's having a whole thing going on
Dillard's a
here.
fucking beast too. Both you got two more beasts. You got two more beasts in here. Fucking Dillard and Bascom. Both two guys that have distinct badass styles.
Jason's really good, and I'm going to hire Jason to do some work on non-devils on
Yeah.
when I do it. When I get to that part, like I got something in mind for you, and I got something in mind for Jason.
Oh
And
shit.
after seeing Jason's thing on Peter Simetti's channel, where Jason said like he's blind, you know, and he can't see the page, and sometimes he'll be drawing and he'll realize like he's actually drawing on the desk and not on the page. No, he never said that, but but he like that explains a lot because he I noticed like he'll do these amazing figures, but then when it comes to the backgrounds, like he'll kind of skimp a little bit, and then I kind of realize like he's right. That explains it. It's because he can't see the detail that he's doing in the backgrounds. You know what I'm saying? And plus, if you like, I knew an artist that used to do like these amazing pastel paintings,
Yeah.
but he had one eye, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when he was younger, he worked at a tire shop, and a tire exploded and hit him in the face, and then
Oh, that
hit the
sucks.
ceiling, you know.
Yeah.
And he was in a coma for like a month or two or something like that. When he
Fuck.
woke up, he was blind in both eyes, but one was filled with blood. The other one, they were able to recover sight in it, and he didn't have any depth perception at that point. So
Mm,
whenever he drew, it was very one dimensional. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And so yeah, my point is like with Jason, I want to have him do the main characters of the scene. I might even thumb it out and just have him like do the main characters, and then I'll
Yeah.
go back and do the backgrounds and maybe spice it up a little bit
That's
because I just want
dope.
to see what
Little
will come
combo
out.
piece. I mean, that's
Yeah,
what him and fucking Inky did, dude, or Ink Spots for fucking
yeah,
Fog
Ink
Geek.
Spots is really good too.
They both
Yeah,
fucking combo jam on that shit. It's fucking dope, dude. Busting some combos, you know?
we got really good
Um,
artists in this
yeah,
area,
dude. Fucking Dillard, fucking Jason Bascom, you.
and
Oh, I was gonna ask you, dude, how the fuck do you not smear all over your pages because they're pencils? I'm like, what do you do? You wear something on your hand or something
no,
like that?
dude, no, I tried that and it didn't work. The fucking gloves started smearing the work even worse than if I wasn't wearing. Well, almost as bad as if I wasn't wearing the work glove. I have I have a bunch of these little pieces of paper. Like you see, I got a little ring hole right here, and
Yeah.
it's on a ring right next to my desk. And
Okay.
like I'll take some cheap typing paper, and
Okay.
what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I got a paper cutter. You know, my daughter got it for me for Christmas, and I was like, "Oh, this is the greatest thing ever." You know, it's not that
Yeah.
expensive, but
Right.
dude, I always wanted a paper cutter. You
Me
know,
too.
so I can
Me too.
yeah, and they're not that expensive. But she was like, so I got it, and I immediately took some 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper, and I start like cutting them into 4 pieces, like squares. And what I do is I lay my hand on it while I'm drawing, and the paper, it'll it doesn't smear the work as much as you would think, right?
Hmm.
And another trick is, and this is kind of a Kirby trick, is
What's the
start,
other trick? Because I do the paper already.
yeah, do the paper,
Hmm.
and start at the you're right-handed, right?
Yes.
Start at the upper left-hand corner and work your
Okay.
way down. You know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
that way you're not going over finished work when you're drawing.
Okay.
Or if you did finish like a panel, like you start in the middle and you finish that panel,
Yeah.
take a piece of paper and tape over it. That way the paper can't move, and then you just draw the other panels, and it helps.
So,
Like with this
that
right here,
so
I
the
cut.
paper over the panels and tape. Because for me, like when I'm doing a page, I draw little parts all over the page because I want to see where everything's going. So
What do you
I'll start.
use to draw them?
I
Use the
use
same lead weight that you use to draw the rest of it, or do you use
I
like
use the same lead weight. I use a fat like mechanical like the thickest one. I think it's about a I think it's a 7, and
is it
it's
a
just like
hard lead or is it a
it's a
soft lead?
soft lead, and that's just to like rough everything out. And I
See,
do.
that's your problem right there. To rough
Mm.
everything out, I use like a 4H, you know?
Oh wow.
And
Okay.
that 4H goes down, but soft lead smears very fucking easy. Hard lead
Uh,
is almost impossible to smear. You know what I'm saying?
you ever
But it
use
goes
number
down
two at
really
all?
light. What?
Do you use number two at all?
No, I
HB.
use for a hard lead, I use point 0.5, you know,
Okay, I have point five.
mechanical pencil.
I
And
I only use mechanical pencils now. That's all I use.
well, some of the detail in the background that I do too, where it's kind of faded back, like right here,
Yeah.
that's a point 0.4 lead. And in the
Mm.
foreground is a four. Well, that's a 4H lead in the background, and a 2H lead in the background. And in the foreground, I'm using a 2B and a 4B.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? Now I stopped doing that because I've noticed like 2B fucking smears like crazy, dude,
For me,
because
it's
the
the
lead's
smearing
so
in the
soft,
ruler.
dude.
You ever use a ruler?
I
Like
do.
like the
Yeah.
plat. Oh my god, the ruler fucks shit up for me sometimes. Like I got to keep washing my ruler with dish soap. You know what I mean? And like
I
cleaning
put
the fucking ruler.
pennies. I take pennies on the bottom of them to give them a little bit of a lift, to give a lip,
Oh,
so
okay, that's a
that you
good
can
trick.
move it
See,
around. Yeah.
that's a see. I don't do that either. That's another.
Because sometimes whenever you're doing borders too, like you do your panel borders, you
Yeah,
take a Sharpie and you put your Sharpie down, and your Sharpie will rub onto your ruler. You know what I'm saying? And then when you move your ruler to do the other side, it'll smear that Sharpie across your page.
yeah,
So when you put pennies on the bottom of your ruler, it gives it just enough lift to where you can pull that ruler around and not have to worry about it. But it also works like when you're doing pay. Dude, I'll be honest, like I almost never use a ruler. I've I subscribe to the Bisley philosophy with all that. Like anything but the main part can just be cartooned out, or roughed in. Yeah.
right, 100%.
Where yeah. Yeah, like I mean, sometimes I use a ruler, sometimes I'm just like fuck it, just like eyeball it. I always use perspective lines, because I want the perspectives to be right. But as far as like the mechanics of everything, I mean, I've gotten jumped on by other artists about, you should really use a ruler. Like, I don't give a
Yeah,
shit, dude.
yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Like even in that non-devils page that I was showing off, like that double page spread, you can look in the background. You could see I obviously never used the ruler on any of that shit. Yeah.
yeah. That would a ruler would fuck that shit up. It's not about like
Well, plus that
it's
also
not
goes
about the
against
ruler,
being
man. It's the
quick.
piece. It's the piece, and it's
No.
about the mood, and it's about the
God
story, and
damn it.
like I don't even think about a ruler when I'm looking at that. I'm looking at the world and the immersion and fucking it's art and it's sequential still. And yeah, I'm not, for me sometimes though it's just like certain things, like if I'm doing a whole page, right? Like I'm drawing every panel, but then I'll go back. I don't know. I add a lot of detail in pencil to one thing, and not. I try not to add too many details though when I'm doing pencils. I don't add a lot of detail in pencils. I go really rough. I add
Well,
all
when
my
you
details with ink.
when you
But if
know you're just using pencil, you can
yeah,
put a lot of detail in there and not worry about it. Like
that's true.
I never used the ruler on any of this, dude, and it's very obvious when you zoom in. But then when you start figuring like this is going to be shrunk down from this big to like
Yeah.
this big, you know,
Hmm.
who's going to notice that?
And then another thing is
Like
too,
nobody's going to notice that.
for you to trap your
What's up,
pencils
Jay
in,
Dollar?
you use fucking hairspray, right? What up, Jay
Dude, I
Dollar?
gotta get a can of hashberry. Like I fucking threw away the old can that I had when I moved, and I've just been like throwing art in the closet and just being like, don't move that shit because it'll smear. Yeah.
But you for your pencils you use hairspray though, right? And you just kind of close it up
I
to hold it in.
do, yeah, because
Okay.
it's almost impossible to smear that shit. You can
That's
still
another thing
smear.
I'm
Don't get
afraid
me
of.
wrong,
I'm like
but
terrified of my work getting fucking rubbed out from doing pencils. That's another reason why I don't do pencils. It's because I'm like that's another like thing lingering in the back of my brain. Like and I like pencils more.
well,
Like
if you
fuck,
hairspray it, you don't have to worry about it,
like it
because
won't
it's
move. It won't move at all with the hairspray.
no. I mean, you'd really have to get down on there and push on it to make it move, but
Like
it's
rub it
not
out.
gonna. Yeah, it's not gonna move like sometimes if I really want to smear something, I'll wet my thumb
Oh,
and just go ahead and just
dude.
smear it. You know what I'm
That's what
saying?
I'm talking about right here, man. Like,
But yeah, but this is what I'm saying. Like you look at it, like the main character's detailed and it's
yeah,
sharp and all that kind of stuff.
yeah,
And these pages I haven't brought into Photoshop to burn out a little bit of the excess line art. You know,
yeah. Uh huh.
so you can see it's not all like great and
Great
sharp.
to me.
But it's sharp enough. It's passable at this point. But there's erasure lines on there that I haven't burned out yet or anything
Oh,
like that.
on Photoshop.
Yeah. And that
I know what you're
sometimes
talking
I'll do
about.
that, but you got to be real careful that you're not burning out
Yeah,
stuff you want to keep. Like,
exactly.
because some of the stuff inside of this guy right here, like the sketch lines, I like that. I
Yeah, me
want to I
too.
want to see
That's
that.
the punk. That shit's punk. That shit's
Yeah,
punk as fuck.
exactly. It goes
Like
against the
that's what Eric
grain.
Powell was doing. That's what we want, right?
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people don't see that. Like a lot of people are like, well, I prefer it clean.
No,
Like,
I don't like that. I want that
well,
fucking scratch in there. I want that. No, I want
yeah.
all that.
That's
That's
what
the whole point.
Silvestri does. Silvestri,
Yep.
and I don't know, Dale Keown, I don't know how he used to do it.
His shit's
Like,
like fucking like focused fucking sketch like lines. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
with
it almost
pencil.
looks like he doesn't use, what he might be using though? He might be using a light table to like,
Yeah, he and he does like this thin. He uses thin ass paper too, like like like
yeah.
like he
See,
does
that makes
layers.
more
He does
sense.
layers and
Like,
layers with like these
yeah,
tracing papers, and they're all like attached to one big fucking like like one big like Bristol board, dude. You know what I mean? I've
holy
seen
shit, that
when he
makes
first
total
when he
sense,
first came
actually.
over to CG, he was showing that shit. He was doing some
Yeah,
fucking Ethan piece. He was doing that fucking Salamandroid, and it had all
that's
these fucking
crazy.
like papers. You know, like damn. You know what I
That
mean?
seems like a
And
lot of work.
you can see all of all of his work has pencils in it. You can see everything he has pencils. He keeps his
Yeah,
pencils
no,
in ink.
that's one thing I love
He's
about
working
Dale's
combo with the
work.
pen
You know?
because inks because this looks fucking beautiful too, and I want to do this. And then pencils and ink, um, pencils and ink, fucking they look good together too.
Well, this is another thing I want to show you. Like, you notice, like, all right, this is all about separating the backgrounds. This is layering, just not with all that work that Dale Keown does, because that's a lot of fucking work,
Yeah,
and that's a lot of paper. But his finished pieces must go for like thousands. So,
yeah, yeah,
it's totally worth it. But this is how you do it on Bristol, which is a couple of different size pencil leads. So I rough everything. First, I do what I do is I'll like this. I've told you this before. Like I'll take a piece of paper, like just 11 by 17 typing paper, and just rough everything out real quick with a pen, and then go ahead and scan that in and print it out in either magenta or blue line, and you can kind of see it like very faintly on here because I reduce it down to 10%, and then I go back with my pencils. Now, what what I'm talking about layering, like all of this, the foreground and the midground are done in dark pencil, at least the line work, right? So I probably on this piece I stopped using 2Bs and 4Bs and I started using just HB, right? Because
mm,
HB doesn't smear as easy as the other two, and you can still get that dark look.
right.
So I went ahead and outlined the foreground and the midground with HB.
Mm,
In the background, I used 2H and 4H to do the background. Now the shading for the for the for the midground, I went ahead and shaded with the 2H, and did all the shading with the 2H, and gradually brought it up to the HB with shading. So everything kind of blends into the foreground. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, and then the background is just shaded with the hard leads, so it separates it completely. So there's no, so things don't get cluttered. So you can overly detail shit and not have it all just like
Mud
getting all
together.
mixed up together. Yeah, getting
Yeah.
muddy. Because that's one thing I hated, dude. Like you do these crazy ass pieces, then you'll be like, nobody can see this because it's all muddy.
Yeah.
The
There's no.
only way this separates is if a colorist goes in there and starts doing shit.
Right. I'm holding that shit out.
Yeah. Like this, I would even consider putting out an artist edition where it's all just pencils.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like that. This should be an artist edition. You know.
But the other stuff where it was just like hard pencils, like there's no way, dude, because it would be too confusing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just crazy. But
How many pages are you on Nine Devils now?
the first chapter is going to be non-pages.
Okay.
And the next page is going to be like, I
Which
don't know
chap-
if you can see it, but you see this, like the Devil's Castle back here,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and it's being defended by these beholders,
Yeah.
and the tentacle monsters are working for the opposition. And so right here, the entrance to the Devil's Temple is this giant statue of a demon chick with her legs
see it.
spread,
Yeah.
and her wings are like bedded in. It's like she was sculpted from the mountain, right? And so let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. On the fifth page, there's going to be one final battle, and then you're going to slowly zoom into her legs, right? And between her legs, there's going to be a doorway to the entrance of the Devil's Castle,
Ah.
and you're going to go in there, and that's going to like there's not going to be any more panels where I'm showing the devil getting like brutalized. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
because now we're going into the chamber, into his chamber, where he's being brutalized. And God, I wish I could show you those pages. Let me show you the roughs. Fuck it, I'm gonna show you the roughs
Well, yeah.
because I got roughs for the upcoming pages, and I think they're good enough to show. So, and this is, you kind of get a sneak peek too to see what I'm talking about when I say like roughs. Like they're really rough, But let's see here. This was a while back too, so it's found them. Okay.
Love that cowboy shooting right there in the front, in the foreground. It's awesome.
Yeah, at first I was gonna make that your character. I was like, nah, I can't put him on this third page. We have to wait. Plus, I'm on a full frontal, you know. And
Go for it.
so I went ahead and
Throw Butch in there whenever you want.
he's gonna be on the last page when shit has. You have a great night too, Jason.
Later, brother.
Let's see, screen share. All right, here we go.
Have a good old time in the metal shop.
Metal shop. Okay. So here's the rough for page one, right? So, and this is the one, like, you remember page one where I had the maggots coming
flies?
out of the dude's
Yeah.
eyes? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So page two. No, that's not page two. Okay, that's the page. All right. This is page one,
This is what I really
two.
really like.
That's what a
too.
dude's jumping out. And at first I was going to have a dragon back there.
You see that the dragon wings up in the top?
Yeah, and you can kind of see the tower coming out. Let me see if I can bring them
I
both
see a
up at
tower
the same
coming up,
time.
coming out the by the dragon wings a little bit.
Yeah,
A thick ass
that's
tower.
yeah, that's the tower that I was showing you before.
Man,
And so that's page two. Page three is right here, and you can see the rough outline of the Devil's Castle,
yeah, yeah. I
And
see it.
I decided not to put an angel right here, well, a demon angel, but put a beholder coming there. So I edit them as I'm going too. So these aren't permanent.
Yeah.
This is just, it gives me a little bit of a map to go off of.
Mm.
And then, okay, let's see here. All right, here's the page with the, shit, I just lost it. What'd I do?
I'm in heaven right now.
God damn it, I lost it.
I love this stuff, dude.
I lost it. Okay, here's the page with let me just share the monitor. It'd be easier just to share the monitor. Okay, so here's the page with the demon knight and the spider creature.
Mm, fuck
So you
yeah.
can see the spider creature right here originally had a human head,
Right.
and this is basically just outlines of the character poses that I was using to kind of go in there with. And this is
Yeah.
like it's just wireframe. Like all the creative stuff's done with pencil.
Oh, 100%.
And I never put the inset panels in yet with the devil being tortured. You know.
And all
So
the
this,
while, like side note on all this, you're like, I don't want to add too much because I'm gonna have my fun with my pencils at the end, right?
yeah,
'Cause
kind of. Yeah,
'cause
because
gotta-
this is
that's
just
the
a
fun,
map.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a
Because
map. And
you
this are
wanna
inks. These are inks right here.
yeah, I like these gel pens, these black gel pens to go in there and do all the
Damn.
work.
So
And
you fucking ink your layout. You ink your thumbnails, huh?
yeah,
And you
but it's
pencil
not
your
what you
fucking.
think. Like I'm not like throwing like serious inks down. It's basically just doodling. You know what
No,
I'm
no, but
saying?
you use actual ink though. You don't use pencil for your layouts.
I kind of do. Like if you can tell, like I use a really light pencil to scribble on there, but I
Okay, but you do
scribble
both.
so
You
many
do both.
different things.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
just
No, I hear you,
and it
brother. I do similar things. You know, like I do a lot.
yeah, and there's things that you like in there, so you pull it out with the ink. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? You're like,
and
oh,
those
I
are like
like this
those
one,
are
and it keeps me from
the inks
wasting
are
paper.
paramounts, right? Those are fucking. They're like laid down in the ground. Like these are fucking paramount. These are cornerstones in the piece. The ink.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay,
And
okay,
that's what I use to go
that
and
makes
turn
sense.
into to
Okay.
blue line. All right, that's four. So here's the other one. And where it is the Indian chief, that's going to be Butch Cleaver. You see
Ooh,
what I'm
nice.
saying? And
Yeah.
this is going to be a beast. I think I changed that beast up though. And then you see the castle in the background. And this is one
Oh
thing
yeah.
I like to do too. I like to do a Z, you know, on a
Okay.
page to
Yeah,
where
it's an easy flow, right? Easy read.
exactly. It's like
Yeah,
Kirby dynamics when it comes to page layout, right?
hundred
So you
percent
see
easy
his
read.
arm, he's basically pointing to the chick on
Yeah,
in the castle.
pointing
Then
back to her.
she, when we zoom into her, it's that's the body of the Z right there, you
Mm.
know. And then this part right here between our legs is going to be the entrance to the castle. And then we zoom
Ah,
in on last panel. We're zoomed in on the entrance, and that
mm.
leads to the next page. And so, Preston giving away all his secrets. This should be an
You're
art
gonna
of
have
survival
you just do
objective.
part of her legs. You just drew like her thighs, right?
Well,
You
I
didn't draw.
used to be really, really bad at female anatomy, you know,
Yeah, I'm pretty bad
it's
at it.
but it's like they say, like the more you do it, the better
Yeah,
you
you have
get
to do
at
it a
it.
lot.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
No,
And
I agree. It's
I used
fucking
to be
annoying.
scared of it,
It's
dude.
true though.
You
Like with
know,
everything, like every skill in life, like it's just you have to do it
you
a
have to put
lot.
your
Like
10,000
you
hours
got
in
to
it.
put your
You know
time
what
in,
I'm
dude.
saying?
Like you got to put your 30 minutes to 2 hours a day in. You know.
Exactly. Now here's the other page, and in this page we see the devil's wings being chopped off, you know, and
Oh,
he's got all
okay.
these hooks in him, like his hands are pulled back because he's got hooks like on his forearms. It's pulling his skin, and he's got his arms behind him like that, you know,
Oh yeah.
and that's his back, and his wings are being pulled off him by these hooks while they're being sliced through with a sword.
Oh,
And then you
that's
see,
so
you know,
dope.
he's kind of he's kind of looking back, like not in fear but in anger, right?
Yeah.
And
You
then he
mother.
gets pulled into this Iron Maiden. Like this Iron
Mm.
Maiden just opens up, and it's got these hydraulics on it that
Oh
open it
damn.
up, and you can see the spikes on
Oh
the
yeah.
Iron Maiden. Now in
Yeah.
this universe, the devil can't die. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Yeah.
He can't die. the second thing. He's the closest thing you have to a god, besides
Yeah.
God himself.
Right.
And God isn't good in this universe. I want to make myself perfectly clear. Like he's not good. He's not good or bad. He's just not. He's just
He's
God.
just God. He's Old
Yeah,
Testament. He's Old Testament.
exactly. So he gets slammed into this Iron Maiden. Spikes go through his face and all kinds of stuff like that. And the mouth of the Iron Maiden is just teeth, and it's also a view, and the devil's face is coming through the mouth of the Iron Maiden,
Uh,
right? This panel, I'm showing the Iron Maiden locking after it envelops the devil, and then
yeah.
you see, and the whole time, like I'm going to show the feet of the non-devils, because they're all gathered around him, and
Mm.
they're talking. They're like, "Yeah, you held us down, Satan. Well, we've decided to go a different way. And part of it's going to be like they're throwing it in his face, like you hated the humans so much that you ignored their potential as warriors of
Mm.
hell. And that's how they were able to conquer hell. Like there were more evil humans in hell than there were fallen angels. After how long has it been? Like over 2,000 years
Yeah.
of evil motherfuckers just being dumped in you know, the astral asshole. So,
Right.
all right. So he gets, okay, in this panel, his wing, it's a splash page. And
Uh,
I'm going to show the shadows of the demon. The demons like the devils aren't revealed until the second chapter when they actually go
nice.
to
I
Earth,
see
right?
them. I see them down there in the foreground, right? Their
Yeah,
shadows,
that's
their
that's the
silhouette.
shadows. And this is the Iron Maiden with the devil
Yeah, that's
being
good,
locked
man.
up. And
Fuck.
I wanted
Those
to
are
have the
chains,
Iron
right?
Maiden.
Coming.
Yeah, those are really thick chains, like holding it in
Yeah.
place. And he's locked in there for forever. This is it. This is his final resting place as far as they're concerned. And so it's locked up. And I want the Iron Maiden to be detailed too, with like runes, skulls, I mean, like seriously, like almost like a Geiger-esque type of,
Mm.
picture. And I
Yeah.
wanted his wings to be hanging above the Iron Maiden in front of him as
Uh,
a constant reminder, of his defeat by the non-devils.
yeah.
And let me see here. Where are we at? Okay, that's the inset panels where he's getting, chained. His horns are being chopped off. Wings are getting cut up, and he gets, for the shits and giggles, they punch him across the face, you know, and
Lucifer, right?
yeah, Lucifer gets punched
The
across the
Nine
face.
Devils are basically just brutalizing him, right?
And oh, this is another panel. So you see the backs of the non-devils as they come in, they're gloating to Satan. And one thing that I want to make clear throughout this whole sequence of pages, through all the torture and everything, and this is one thing the devils say, they're like, through all of this, you refuse to scream, and show pain, because Satan is never going to lower himself to, to
Yeah.
um to the devils. And another thing too, he appears in human form in here, and it's not because he has any love for humans. It's out of total mockery. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For God's creation, right? And
Right.
it's not, dude. I am not religious. I want to make that clear, but I have so much fun dealing with religious mythology.
Oh yeah, for sure,
You
man.
know,
Me too.
and so
I
yeah,
gotta send you
so
that song, man, about Lucifer I wrote.
I, I'm gonna check it out. But so they come in, they mock him, and then they leave. They're going to Earth, and just rage radiates through the devil. And the last page, I think this is page 8. On page 9 is just him screaming in anger, not in pain, but in anger.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I laid that one out, like,
You
because it
laid
was
it out
such a
yet?
simple. I don't think so, because it was such a simple page that I was just going to just straight up draw it. Because
You gotta have him like full page, dude, like fucking chained up, like inside the shit. You like,
well, I already got
motherfuckers,
that.
oh, you know?
Yeah, yeah, that's already done. I already got that one.
Oh,
The
okay.
that's Doc Alpha.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I got other stuff in here too, like Doc Alpha. That's the last. I had to redo the last page of Doc Alpha.
Oh, dude, I gotta get
To,
that.
yeah,
I
that
gotta
one's
get
gonna
the
be
book you
sick,
got with
dude.
Vaughn too. I gotta get the back the Vaughn book. There's so many books.
Let's see here. I got a couple other things I can show. That's the thing for Adam Lawson.
Oh, jizz.
It's his. He's putting out a new book. No, it's not a new book. It's the Japanese release or digital release of the Kill Journal. You know,
Mm.
and it's Testament. Testament. I'm laxing on the pencils to go ahead because I'm making up for it in paint. You know, this is the page from Vaughn's book. I have to redo this a little bit though.
Oh, it's fucking
And,
badass, dude.
they the second page of that is somewhere
You
around
got
here.
you got a colors for Vaughn's book or what?
I don't know if I'm gonna. I don't think he's gonna have it colored. I think we're just
Okay,
gonna do it
good.
in black and white and red or
That's
something
gonna
like
be
that.
sick, dude.
At least the flashbacks are gonna be in black and white
Yeah,
and red.
I love that black and white, man.
Oh, this is Six Gun right here. This is one page from Six Gun Gorilla, and
Dude.
another page from
Oh,
Six Gun.
dude.
You know, one of the best things about this was I got to play with gorilla anatomy. You know, because
Mm.
gorillas have these big old
Crazy, right?
butts. Yeah,
The big old
dude.
butts.
And yeah, they got big old butts and they got really short legs. So I had
Yeah,
to like make the legs look decent and not make the
yeah.
butt look really big and make it look manly all at the same time.
Like
So
you
it
had
was
to like, look, okay, this motherfucker's butt's really big. All right, I
yeah.
gotta cut it down a little bit, but kind of know it's a little bit bigger than a human butt. And then
I
they
thought
got some.
about doing that, but the problem
Yeah.
was that if I did that, that wouldn't be gorilla anatomy. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying?
mm,
So I'd be fucking myself. Oh, that's the
mm.
painted version of the
Oh, dude, that's sick.
yeah. Let's see here. Some more of Six Gun Gorilla. Dude, the new colorist on this book,
Yeah, yeah.
like, dude, because I told him, I said, look, I was like, it's more important to me that you do a good job than you do a fast job, you know?
Right, right.
And so he took that to heart, dude. He's fucking killing it. Like, he's knocking that shit out, like, big
I love
time.
this piece right here, man.
That
That
one,
cover. Yeah, man.
that was a blast.
It's so toxic and magical. I don't know if that
He
makes
wanted to
sense.
go with, like, kind of a Castlevania look. And I was like, but it was Halloween. You know what I'm saying? I was like, let's do like a Halloween type of feel to it, you know, like use Halloween colors like oranges,
It
purples, and greens.
definitely has that. For I could definitely feel a little Castlevania at the top,
Yeah.
but it definitely has like this fucking.
This was my favorite part right here, though. The look on that chick,
Oh yeah,
because she's got the one eyeball looking down at him, you know, and the bat,
I like that. Rest in
and
peace,
that's how I
Best
signed
dude.
it.
Fucking dope, dude.
That was fun. That was a fun
So
piece.
cool, man. Your art is so fucking metal, dude, and
I
so
had
fun and so cool, man.
it works,
It's very
you know,
inspiring, man. It makes me just like want to keep like makes me want to draw.
dude. Like after years of practicing, the one thing I found that made it like work was just having fun with it. You know,
Yeah.
that was the linchpin that kept
Oh, what's
everything
that?
together. This is for this is the cover for The Gods
Okay.
Fear Me Too,
Oh, nice.
and that's the Anti Mother, where she absorbs like living things. And his description of her was really kind of weird. Like she never really had a form, you know.
Mm,
In fact, to me, it almost looked like her whole body was like a vagina or something like that, you know.
mm,
So I asked him. I said, "Would it be cool if like the things she absorbed like protruded from her skin? You know what I'm saying? Like the
yeah.
like dogs, cats, wolves, you know, people, and just teeth, you know, and shit like that." So that's the way I kind of went with it.
Very John Carpenter for the thing.
And she, yeah, yeah, exactly. It was kind of like the thing, and she doesn't have an arm, so it was. So I was like, well, maybe she gets maintenance through
I
that,
like
like
that.
missing piece, you know, or something like that. So I was
Very
like,
mech'd out.
mech it,
It's a
mech the
scythe.
shit out of
I
it.
like that, man. I like that arm with the
Came out pretty
I
good.
think spikes coming out the side
This is one
or
of my
iron gate.
favorite pages from Testament. Like some of this book's fun to do, and some of it's kind of feels like a chore, you know. But this is one where they have this giant statue, right? And they come upon it, and I got to play with the perspective a little bit to kind of make it look like you're looking up at it, you know.
Yeah, that's dope.
And then the dude like he's running towards this place because it's got like gold and shit in it, but he never makes it because he gets stomped out by the statue.
Are you drawing the main book now for Testament? Or
Yeah, but I got to go ahead and paint the whole thing too. So the pencils are just the pre. So I'm trying to do the pencils really, really quickly, and this is a rough of
what? Yeah.
like you know how I work. Like now you do anyway. Like I blue line the perspective lines in,
Yeah.
and then go ahead and just like do roughs off of that. And I tried doing it the other way where you put your perspectives on the actual page while you're putting a detail in,
Yeah.
and it just doesn't work, dude, because you always get those lines in there. So
Always get those fucking lines in there. And then you get the smear from the fucking ruler, and then you got to go wash the ruler in the sink with dish soap.
I never. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass,
Fucking
dude.
bitch, dude.
Do you have a computer like with a scanner and stuff like that?
I have a I have a scanner. I have a workforce, pretty dope. I could print out
That's
blue
what I
line on
got.
there,
That's the
but
exact thing I got.
I
Yeah.
don't do it though. I just use it to scan art on it only. Um, and then I
Well,
just
you can.
draw on my fucking drawing board in my living room when I'm hanging out
Do
with
you
my
use
family.
comic board whenever you're when you're
Yeah,
doing
I use
your
Bristol.
books?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. For
When
my
I
book,
was
I'm using 11 by 14, and then for 99% of people, I use 11 by 17 for covers and
yeah,
trading cards and
I,
pinups.
I use 11 by 17. Um, but when I run out, like I still have a bunch of pads left over when I used to draw really, really big, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
like 19 by 24. I can't even
Ooh,
believe I
that's
used to do it
massive.
that big, dude. That was
That's big.
crazy, you know. But so what I started doing is I started splitting, like taking that pad and splitting it in half,
Mm,
you know, and doing 12 by 18 pages,
mm,
you know, because you get 25 sheets of uh, uh, fucking 18 by 24, right?
right.
So, and it costs roughly almost the same amount as 11 by 17. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So when I started doing, I was like, am I going to waste these pads or should I just take my T square, put it there in
Right.
the
Right.
center and just cut it, you know?
Yeah.
So I've been cutting them to 12 by 18 and just run, and because my scanner will go all the way from, will do 13 by 19, you
That's a
know?
big one. That's a big scanner you got.
Well, it can't scan 13 by 19, but it'll print 13 by 19. You see
Damn.
what I'm saying?
That's
So,
still pretty big though.
yeah. So I put
Pretty
those
big though.
12 by 18s in there, and I can just put the blue lines on there and just go ahead and, you know, and it gives you a little bit more room, you know, other than, you know,
And
from
you
the
print
11 by
out the blue line
17.
on there, right?
Hmm. That
Mm.
way I'm not wasting it. Plus, you get more paper, you know, and it's almost like free shit. But yeah, dude, it's a blast. This is my favorite page from Vaughn's book, but I got some other pages I'm working on. One of the things I like about this is the burning chickens
Oh yeah, they're singeing
and
up
the
up there.
burning
Huh?
horses inside this barn.
Oh man, I can't wait
I
to
was
back
like,
this book, dude. I hope
it's
he goes
almost
another 30 days. I think he was only going 30 days. Hope he
shit.
extends
That's
the
gonna suck.
campaign, man.
I'm trying to get the pages out for him, but that's
I want to
another
get him
thing.
on fucking open the gates before the
Yeah,
campaign closes. I want to talk to him about the book, man. Looks
it's a
interesting.
blast, dude.
Is
It's
he inking it or what?
this. No,
Yeah.
he's not inking his. This is all me. Whatever I feel like doing with it.
Is who's doing the main art on the main story?
I don't know. I think it was Vaughn had this done like in 2015.
I think he said he was inking the main story or some shit. I could
I
have
think he
sworn I heard him
did.
say.
Yeah, the book's
That's dope.
completely finished. That's why he's only going to go 30 days. But
Oh shit.
yeah, like the book is
'Cause I want to
completely
pick this
done.
up and yeah, I want to pick it up. I like that he's a fucking witch hunter.
He
That's pretty
said
dope.
that he lost track of the chick that actually did the artwork.
Oh really?
Yeah, so it's I don't know, dude. Like that's I don't know what's
Homie's
going
a
on.
pretty good artist too. I was telling him like, hey, dude, you fucking you should draw your own shit sometime. You know, not all the
Well,
time.
Vaughn inked it. He inked the Witch
That's
Hunter,
dope.
and
Oh, that's dope.
he He did it by
Oh, what the
hand too.
fuck?
So
What's
that's
that?
the page
Oh,
tuner.
upside down.
Yeah. You see? And
Love that, man. I
that's what I'm
love that.
saying, dude. Like you look at that, I didn't know I had this in here. And then you look at the rough and the where's that rough at? You fucker. That's not the rough. That's the rough to Witch Hunter.
It really makes you feel like you're in a big place, you know,
That's the dude. That took
a
forever
big
to learn how to
hellscape. You
do.
know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you really did a good job of making you feel like you're in a big hell. I don't know if that
yeah.
makes
But
sense.
the way I did that was I went ahead and I was very much inspired by Walter Simonson's Ragnarok. You know,
Yeah, that's my
like that.
main inspiration for as far as like the main books, man. I wish he would fucking put out a new one. And
Dude, I wish he
how
would
was he?
too. Like
How was that? How did that inspire you for that piece?
the first splash page on issue one of Ragnarok was done in
Pencil?
it was Ragnarok, like it
Yeah,
was the end of the
it's
gods,
fucking
and it
huge, right?
you remember
I
that like it
remember.
was a two
Oh yeah, I
page
remember that.
spread,
Yeah,
and
that's
it
like the
had
most iconic piece in the book.
yeah it had the Midgard serpent going all the way through it.
Everything like a double pager.
Dude, it was crazy. It was completely insane, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, I, this is, and that's what I want to do. I was like, I got to do something like that, dude. Like that's crazy, you know?
Oh, you did. I mean, I love me some Walter, dude, but you're on another level than him. I mean,
Nah,
I
no
know he's
way,
a
dude.
god, but I'm sorry, dude.
Walter's the king.
He's a
But
king, but it's like you're on another level. Fucking, you know, I'm not trying to blow no smoke or suck no dick or
nah,
nothing
dude,
like
you're
that.
only
But
as
I'm just
good
saying, dude, it
as
is
the
what it is, and
masters that came
he's
before.
one of my favorite, dude, and I love his stuff. But it's just different, man. I just prefer like what you're doing, and I love his sketchy style. You know what I mean?
No, well, that's what I'm saying. Like that whole,
Fucking
if
love
you
that, dude.
notice, like that whole Ragnarok scene was done in pencil. Like
All
that was
pencil,
straight pencil, dude.
and he just like and like I
Yeah.
ain't gonna lie, dude. Like I never read. I didn't read none of his other Marvel Thor. I got into fucking Simonson from Ragnarok. That's how I got
Yeah.
into Simonson. I haven't read none of his other shit. I got all of his Ragnarok shit, and I
No,
got
I got
into
into
him
Simonson. I got into Simonson through
in the day.
Thor, but
In the day,
that's
yeah,
one, dude. That was
yeah,
the main reason why I bought Ragnarok because I was like, dude, I
because
was
of
like,
his 99.9% of people that talk about Simonson are from his shit from in the day. You know,
yeah,
like I never got in. I never knew about his shit. I just knew about Ragnarok. I was like, who's this old guy? Fucking. Oh, he did Thor. Oh, fucking Ragnarok.
dude,
Fucking
you
Zombie
gotta,
Thor. Fucking Dusklands. Fucking Nine Realms. Fucking merged into one fucking world. Okay, I'm in. Let's get in there. Boom, boom, boom. Oh fuck, I like this work. And then I just started following him and follow him on social media, reading about his stuff. And he's a fucking Norwegian, so he knows his
yeah.
shit, And I'm just
He's
like,
a
dude, this guy's
huge Kirby fan too. Like
watching
he's,
like and like learning about how he does things. I want to get him on my show. He's like my main get. Like that's like the main guy I want to get on my show.
you know you might do better by finding him at a at a con and just sitting down
Dude,
with
he
like a
was at.
recorder.
I missed him at. I missed him at Comic Con. I went to Comic Con and I fucking missed him. And I thought I would be able, I'll get him later, but I didn't know how like schedules went. And you had to go and meet people at certain times back then, and I was just like, fuck. Same thing with Guillermo del Toro. I walked by, I'm like, I wanted to meet him too, and I'm like, hey, my lady's like, go meet him right now. You can go meet him, but I just walked right by, and that was it.
You gotta have balls, dude. Like when it
Oh,
comes to
I
that
got
kind of
balls.
shit.
I got
Like,
balls. I don't give a fuck. I'll go meet people. I don't care. I don't
that's
give a
what I'm
fuck.
saying. Like, because sometimes, like, I remember Walter Simons. Some of these guys are really hard to nail down. Like, if you catch them by surprise,
Yeah.
you'll have a better chance. Like, and don't listen to people when they tell you, like, oh no, don't approach him.
Oh yeah, I don't care.
Like,
No, my lady, she's like, go talk to Guillermo. Go now. And I'm like, nah, I'll get him later. There's going to be another signing, and there wasn't. And the same
that,
thing with Walt. I came later, and like I just
yeah,
didn't. I didn't take initiative to meet him. I thought, I'll meet him later. And I didn't even know that you have to like. I was a noob to cons, if that makes sense.
yeah.
To
See, that's the
scheduling.
fucked up thing is that we don't really realize how old these guys are either.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, because I said the same thing about Ken Kelly. I was like, well, I know Ken. You know, I could just get in touch with him anytime. I'm sure he'll do the show.
Yeah,
Next thing
no,
I know, Ken's dead.
yeah.
You know
Kids
what I'm saying?
that
And I'm like, fuck, dude, that dude was in perfect health. He was flying to the Kiss
same thing with metal
convention. You
bands.
know?
And I remember going. I met, but that same day, I met
Yeah.
Neil Adams. I talked to fucking. I talked to Steve Niles. I talked
Yeah.
to Eric Powell. I talked to Mike Mignola. I talked to John Boy Myers. You know, I talked to a lot of people that day. You know what I mean? And that was just me walking around the con, dude. And you know, Steve Niles was a really nice guy to me. He's like, check out this book. I backed it, and I talked to Neil Adams, and just I didn't really, I just talked to the guy. I didn't really ask nothing from Neil. I was just watching him draw. He was just drawing. You know,
Yeah.
oh, that's really cool, man. I you know, I'm a fucking
That's
like
that's what I
I
did with Bisley. Like I
oh, I'd love to
when
be
I,
busy.
like when I met Bisley was like just roaming around the con, just drunk as fuck, you know.
That sounds like fun.
Because
Just
people were giving him beer and shit like
barbarian,
that
you know, barbarian
exchange
Bisley.
for yeah, dude. Because they were just giving him liquor in exchange for commissions and shit. You know, he was, and then I was watching him do commissions, and you know, and it was like, it's like you have to know when it's time to just shut the fuck up and watch. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yep.
And if because you do like. I don't know about you, but there used to be a time when I felt like if there was silence, I had to fill it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, it's something you can't explain really or put
yeah.
to words,
And it
and
wasn't, it
it's like
wasn't,
a something that's happening, and you just got to shut the fuck up, and you like kind of let it happen.
yeah. And that's when I, like when I was watching Bisley do his thing, something told me just shut the fuck up and watch. You're about to learn
Oh
something.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what
just
I'm
like
saying?
yeah.
And I was like, and dude, it fucking changed everything. Like the way
He
I
was
was
like a
doing things. I
sorcerer,
was
huh,
like,
on that little board he's got.
well, I realized, dude, I was working too hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm watching this dude, and he's just like me.
On
I'm
that
like
board. Yeah.
fucking just concentrating, like get the wireframe correct. You know, he's just
No,
like,
no,
here's an
no.
eye.
Yeah. Boom.
You know what I'm saying?
Ah,
Just
ah,
that easy.
ah.
And
This
then
fucking barbarian. Yeah.
you start thinking, you're like, Bisley's the fucking god when it comes to coloring and painting and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'm watching him paint, and he's just bleeding ink all over the fucking page, and his fucking
Yeah.
splattering shit with his paint, just carefree. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
nothing was really planned. And then I remember something like Frank Frazetta said in an interview. He was like, it was never about like what I had planned for a painting. It was always like, where is this going to take me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It makes
It,
sense.
and that's the same vibe I got from Bisley. Like
Yeah.
he never had a
100%.
plan for how he was going to do that turtle piece. He was just like, where are we going with this? You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
And that reminded me of another thing too when I used to airbrush. Like, because people would be like, how do you do that? And I'd be like, and I'd tell them, I'd be like, well, I'll listen to the paint. The paint shows me where I'm supposed to go with it, you know? And they were like, you so full of fucking shit. And I was like, no,
Yeah.
dude, I'm serious. Like, because when you start doing sketch lines, you realize like that sketch line right there looks like a muscle. So you go ahead and you highlight it and you
Right.
merge it in there and shit like that.
Flow
You know?
with
Like,
it. Yeah.
exactly. And it's the same thing. It's weird because it's the same exact process these guys use, and it's the simplest fucking thing ever. It's just that we don't realize it because we're too close to it, you know.
Right. Right.
And I don't know, dude. It's weird.
Too precious to us. You should
Yeah.
agree.
But when you let go a little bit, that's when you start learning and you start becoming a little carefree and you absorb shit, you know. And
You got to though, right? Like sometimes you, even in your pieces, you got to find the carefreeness. Like
exactly,
it's
like this right here. If you notice, like right here, can you see that guy right there with the on this? Can you see my arrow on the screen?
yeah, the guy's like holding something up like that.
And you see where I replaced him from a bird from the Dark Crystal?
Oh yeah, there's a completely dark crystal. So it went from like one dude going like this
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes,
to a dude. Yeah, I'm like, no, I hear you. Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. And that
like
was all like
sometimes I'll
the
just
art
change
cookie.
shit out. Like this
Yeah,
dragon suddenly turned into a tower. I'm saying, and
yeah.
just shit
No,
like
that's
that.
fucking
Like
dope. No, I love
so,
that too, man.
so you gotta, and that's another thing too. Like I realize, like you gotta leave yourself open to change. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, a
Don't
bunch of
don't shackle
stuff.
yourself down to the fucking piece.
Yeah, not until you get to the really detailed shit, and then you just fucking. That's permanent. So you got to know, you know,
I
Like,
love
are
that
you
that
sure about this? You know?
I love like side quest. I love how that fucking like light, that fucking eye or whatnot is just singeing that fucking monster, the demon up in the sky. You know,
Well,
on the final piece.
originally, I always planned to make it like kind of a skull look on here.
Yeah,
Like the whole thing's about skulls. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta have a
right.
bunch of skull. And but the what I, originally, if you can see it, like the guy was still getting zapped, but it was going to be from a guy standing on a pedestal outside of the like on a ramp coming out of the building. You know.
Mm.
And then I was like, nah, just have one of the eyes, just blast that motherfucker. You know, just
Yeah,
fucking
right.
take his ass out.
Ooh,
You know. Like I said, it
yeah,
was a blast, dude. And I'm having so much fun with this goddamn series. Like it's amazing.
fuck
And
yeah,
Brian definitely outdid himself on this one. You know. And
yeah. Brian's a great writer.
yeah, you know, that's one thing I tell people all the time. Like I have a bucket list full of writers that I've always wanted to work with. And so far I've worked with all of them. Like there's certain writers in CG that are so talented and so overlooked, like it's just crazy. Phil
Oh
is one
yeah,
of them. Zaid Comics, Phil,
yeah. Phil definitely is one of them. Um,
Lit Devil, you know, another one. Like if you, he's he's one of the only people that I could say that the art didn't matter. Like the story pulled me in. You know what I'm
mm,
saying?
yeah,
And Brian, like Brian's a super badass writer, and like all these guys I'm naming, dude. Like I've read like you know Mark Millar, you know, fucking, you know, all those like Frank Miller, all these guys. I'm telling you, like these guys can compete, you know, seriously compete. Yeah,
yeah,
you know, like it's no bullshit, dude. Like all of these guys, like Brian, Lit, fucking Vaughn. Vaughn was a bucket list writer I want to work with, you know, and I had to
yeah.
convince Vaughn to do that backup story. You know, I was like, you know, I was like, come on, dude. And I was like, and he was like, now I got to write an 8 page. I was like, yeah, right. Like, that's really going to be a test of your skills. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you could
Right,
probably dream that shit up. You know what I'm
right. Part
saying?
it
Like,
out.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a
There's a lot
blast.
of good dudes. One dude,
Yeah.
there was one dude that was really good. That bounced too, man. He ain't coming back. The guy that did Grayscale. I don't know if you ever read that. He also
I
did
never
the
read it. Was it
Abductables.
good?
Yeah, it was fucking dope, dude.
It was.
Yeah, it was good. And he did a book called The Abductables,
I
one and
think I've
two.
seen that. Yeah. That's what the
Yeah,
dude, like, that's blowing the aliens away on the cover.
yeah, it was really
Yeah.
good. But he's gone. He bounced. There was
What
another guy
happened?
named
They
Mark
just
Mark
decided they
Middleton.
wanted.
He did a book with the Western with the passion for drawing. Drew it. There was a character. There was a werewolf
Oh, yeah, I remember
called
that.
Big Dick Murphy. That book was
Yeah.
really well written. He's gone.
What happened to
Bro,
him?
don't
You
know.
know, they just disappeared? Or they.
Disappeared. You know,
Huh?
like I don't like. There was a lot of like good writing, like good talent. Like those two good writers. Um,
There's,
there's so many
like,
good though. I mean, Narwhal's really good. Yeah, man, a lot of really good writers out there.
there's a bunch of people out there that, I say this all the time. Like, there was a lot of, back in the books because it was politically right to do at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Rage
And
backing. Yeah,
exactly. And then, so a lot of people made a lot of money off of like really shitty books, you know. And then I don't know if I know they disappeared because you know their books were shit, so they disappeared. But I think a lot of other people, like I think people might have backed their books, but never read them. You know what I'm saying?
uh huh.
And like when they went to run another campaign, it didn't pan out like the first one. You know,
Right. Yeah.
like I'll be straight. Like Lit's first campaign, um, he made like $90,000 off of that fucking campaign. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? On you know, Doc Alpha. You know, in the second campaign, even though it was just as well written and the art was way better,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not blowing my own horn. Like the first book just did not have good artwork for it. You know,
Yeah.
he made it was a struggle to get to $40,000. You know,
Yeah.
and he almost backed out. Like he almost said, "Fucking, I ain't doing this." You know, like, and I was like, "Nah, dude, you can't do that." You know, it's like, but Yeah, like it's crazy because the cream's always going to rise to the top. And I don't
100%.
think a lot of people like understand like we're in a bad economy. So
Yeah.
if you're doing like
No.
really good with your book, that says a lot about you. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
As a
And
creator and an artisan.
exactly.
Yeah.
You may not make $90,000 like you did, 3 years ago when Trump was in office, but
Right.
if
Right.
you're
Yeah.
making half that,
That's good.
dude, you're fucking doing good.
You're doing good. You know, and
Yeah,
you got to just fucking stay hard, and fucking keep doing your art, and telling your
yeah,
stories. No, I agree with you, man. 100%.
yeah. You're doing good with your books too. Like you can do better,
Yeah. Well,
and
I
you
mean,
will.
yeah,
Once people
hopefully.
start getting onto the Matt Burke bandwagon.
Yeah, one day.
You need to get
Hopefully.
yourself a Patreon and just have
Yeah,
people
right.
give people discounts on. I'm serious. Have people give people discounts on commissions. If they back your Patreon.
No, that would be dope. I love, I
Yeah.
love, I love drawing stuff, people's stuff. It's so much fun.
It is fun, dude. And that's what I told people. Like, there's a bunch of guys that were like trying to get into the scene, stuff like that. And they're like, "How do you do it?" Because I tell this all the time. See, like they had a guy I knew that did a bunch of work for IDW, and he thought for sure his campaign was going to be the best thing to ever. He was
Oh
like,
yeah,
he's
yeah, it
like, dude,
sucks.
once I crossed $72,000,
Whoa,
like I'm telling you, I'm
brother
like,
said
really? I
72.
was like,
Like, damn. Like that
and
fool
he
said
was like,
72,000. Like, damn, dog.
yeah, yeah, I know. I was like, oh yeah, it's that easy,
Damn.
right?
Damn.
It's like, and then
Oh,
he
man.
so he was so sure about this he never followed any of the rules, right? Like he never
Yeah, yeah,
pre-promoted his campaign, he
yeah,
never like did a launch party, he never did any, he just launched
yeah.
and then told everybody it was
No
up, right? It was
tailgaters.
like, yeah, exactly,
No
it was just
tailgater. No 30-day fucking.
nothing,
Fucking. I'm about to drop
nothing,
in
dude.
30 days. Like fucking countdown.
he
No sign up.
he didn't really make past $400, and then
Oh, that
he
sucks.
started giving away commissions to anybody that backed his campaign.
Fuck, that's a lot
So
of
for a
work, man.
$25 book, he gave a commission. I was like, dude, are you crazy? I was like, and finally his goal was $10,000. He couldn't even reach $10,000. And I told him, I was like, number one,
That's a lot. That's a big goal too right now.
well, no, I told him, dude, and this was back when people were rage backing. You
Yeah, the
know what I'm
rage backing.
saying?
Yeah,
But and I told him, I said, dude, I get that you did some shit for GI Joe and stuff like that. I was like, but
yeah.
what you don't understand is that IDW isn't in the business of promoting you. They're in the business of promoting GI Joe.
Right.
Nobody knows who you are or cares. That's why you have to
Exactly.
do pre-campaign. You have to get on people's shows. You have to draw other people's characters. And when I said draw other people's characters, I was like, yeah, like for fun, just post it up there and
Did you say gonna draw somebody else's character for free?
well, that's exactly what he
What
said.
the what the fuck you talking about?
And I was
I'm
like,
Like,
dude,
do I got time for that? I don't got fucking time for that.
dude, it's like it was a foreign concept. But yet he's going to give away commissions for $25. You
Yeah,
know what
like
I'm
what the
saying?
fuck are you talking, dude?
And you gotta realize, like, out of that $25, like Indiegogo is going to take their cut. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, like I don't know, dude. Like for me, like I just want to be here. Like I'm telling you, Preston. Like I want to be here. I want to fucking draw some people's shit. I want to do fucking commissions. I want to make my own shit. I want to promote motherfuckers. You know what I mean? That's what
well, see,
I
that's
want to
the
be. I
exact
want to be
reason
in the
I'm
fucking
here.
scene. I want to
Yeah,
be in the fucking scene. You know what I mean? I
yeah,
want to be here. I want
exactly.
to be. I want to be a part of this motherfucker. Like that's
Look,
what I want.
dude.
Like in right now in the 2024. That's what I'm about. And then maybe I could have my book come out in a year's like
If
20.
people hire,
You know?
I'm completely happy with people hiring me to bang out pages, do covers, and I can do my own shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Like if I can make a living doing that, I'm the happiest motherfucker in the world.
Yeah. Right.
I do not care. Like
Yeah.
I don't mind driving a secondhand vehicle. I'm saying I don't buy new anyway, but I'm just
Right.
saying, like, but yeah. And then doing this show, and hanging out with you guys on the movie shows and shit like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. For sure, dude. You
That's a
got to.
blast, dude.
Yeah, I don't even know what fucking movie we're watching this week either,
Yeah, me neither. Oh,
but I'm
dude, did you
excited.
see when I posted like the non-devils thing and I said I'm seriously considering like giving away a commission to the first
Yeah,
100
I saw
people?
that. I'm like, this guy's insane, but
No,
I
it wasn't.
fucking love it.
I'm not talking about a big 11 by 17. It's going to be like a
Okay,
9 by 12 or something like that. You know,
but
nothing
that's
too
cool though,
huge.
man. I'm like, that's Preston, dude. That's him. That's a, when I saw that, I was like, okay, that's just classic Preston going
Yeah, but there was a guy that
on the
commented. He was
table,
like,
on
"Don't
the
cheapen
table,
yourself by giving
on the
away
table.
like." Yeah.
Yeah, there's always
There's.
some motherfucker like,
Did you see that? And I was like, "Well, I'm
no,
not really
but
giving
there's
it away."
there's always some
It's like,
motherfucker that's like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like always questioning shit. You know?
yeah, but it's not giving away. He thought I was just giving away art. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm not giving away art.
Yeah,
I'm I'm like I'm rewarding the people for being the first people to be there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's like a door prize. You know, you're there, and trust me, it's not going to be a huge. It'd probably be about this big. You know,
right.
something like that. You know, it's going to be more than a headshot, but it's not going to be like, you know, like a big ass commission. Trust me. And but you'll have an original piece of art that's going to be shipped with your book. You know, and it'll be just big enough to fit in the back. So
It's fucking dope, dude.
I was thinking about doing sketch covers again too, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that. You know,
It's just that's a lot of work.
I'll tell you
Those
what I am going to
are
do
doable.
is that if you back the drawn in tier, you're going to get the page that you're drawn in at.
Hmm.
So you don't just get drawn in, you get a book and you get the page you were in. You know, so the only problem is if I put two drawn in people into the same page, that's going to be hard. I might have to cut it in half or something like that.
Even more work. The other's just, uh, I wish I made enough money to watch movies.
Shit, me too,
Uh,
dude. That shit's insane.
yeah. No,
Uh,
I
uh,
don't really watch movies, man. Like the only movie I watch a week is if I'm lucky, and it takes like 4 days. It's the fucking horror movie club movie, and I'll watch that
yeah,
like while I'm drawing on my phone, and I can barely like etch in there to fucking draw it. So I'm like I'm sitting in the living room with my drawing board, and I'm drawing, and the fucking TV's on, and I'm like trying to watch this fucking movie, and then the kids go to bed, and I fucking put the movie on the big screen, and they wake up, and then I gotta fucking put the movie on my motherfucking phone. Then I go back and I'm drawing, and it just never ends. And then we're gonna go back, and then we're gonna watch the fucking talk about the movie on the live stream. So it never
dude, I
ends.
wish,
So I can barely squeeze that motherfucker into the motherfucking show. So we
dude.
can watch.
Some of those movies are really hard to watch. Like I try, I'm like, all right, let me
It's
see
hard.
what does this motherfucker have in mind for us this week?
I
Sometimes I
know
feel like
it.
Brian's torturing me.
Well,
Like,
with the horror movies. Oh yeah, I know, man. Yeah,
I'm like,
you should come on sometime, Dillard. You got the link.
yeah, definitely.
I hope it's I don't know, man. I hope it's something cool.
Like sometimes he'll pull something really cool out of his ass, like
Yeah, yeah,
Candyman, you know.
yeah. Candyman was dope. I mean, you can't go wrong with Candyman.
But then sometimes he pulls something out that's just really bad, dude. Like Tubi has some really bad movies, dude. Like
Yeah.
really horrible things.
Yeah.
He should do an anime. You know what I'm saying? Like they have a Wicked City on Tubi.
Oh,
You
really?
know, you ever seen that,
Nope, never seen it.
dude? That is the most horrifying. Like I seen this when you know who Soylent Green is?
The band?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So when I used to go to trade school, like they used to practice like right down the street, like
Oh
in
no
this
shit.
neighborhood, really close, right? The original Soylent Green, not the one that took over after like Donovan Punch and all those guys, like went their own, well, died. Most of them died. But so anyway, I used to go to their practice room, and they were always there, like smoking weed and all kinds of shit like that. So I was there one time, and they were passing a joint around, not thinking like I was taking a hit. And back then, I never realized I was allergic. I would always feel like that hiccup in the back of my throat.
Oh
And
fuck.
I just let it go. But I
Yeah.
was young back then, and I could take it. And so anyway, I'm looking at one of their band posters, right? Like they have their flyers, and they have on there a picture of a chick's vagina with teeth,
Wow.
about to chew this dude's face off. And I'm like, that's the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen before in my life. Dude, that's from Wicked City.
Oh no shit.
he goes to bang this chick, and she turns into this demon spider, and her vagina is like a mouth. I'm like, dude,
Damn, that's
that's
crazy.
sick. I never made it back to trade school that day. I did, but then I got so high that shit hit me right when I got back to school. I was like, fuck. And I walked home
Oh,
4 miles, something like that. I don't know. It was crazy. I wasn't high by the time I got home. Let's put it that way.
I gotta fucking come down there sometime and visit your ass.
Yeah, no, dude, I got an extra room. You guys could stay over.
I'll
Come
make.
hang out in my room.
I'll sleep
Fuck
on
with
the
the
floor. I'll make
guitars.
my kids sleep on the bed or whatever.
We got 2 bedrooms.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
I know they would get a kick out of that. I want to go down there and try some of that food and cuisine, and I want to check out the architecture and the gravelands, all that shit. Louisiana.
Graveyards are pretty cool, but a lot of people get mugged in those.
The gravelands?
New Orleans is deemed the #1 most dangerous city in the U.S. right
It
now.
is, right?
Yeah,
So you don't even go down there, really, huh? I wouldn't.
I don't go down there.
I wouldn't go down there.
Back in the day when I was, like I said, when I was younger, I used to work there. But yeah, it's been a long time. Like back then, they had like a whole street dedicated to art and music. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
dope. Yeah.
Where it was just like like uh, not museums, galleries, and people on the street just playing music.
Like
And
for
I
me, like
fucking
when
used
I
to
think
love
of
that
like
shit.
Dracula, like that movie 2000, when he was in New
Hmm.
Orleans, like for me, like the
Yeah.
concept that made sense. Like he would be there,
Well, Interview with a Vampire
in that
one
too.
and two
Yeah.
were both filmed down here too.
Like
It was a
all that, like
blast.
like that would it just makes sense, dude. I don't know. Just kind of like like Interview with the Vampire was the shit. I'm sorry. That
Yeah.
movie I didn't like I never read the books, but the movies, like, I don't know, they kind of clicked. Like it made sense. It was like gothic southern horror and shit.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, we're one of the few places that also bury our dead above ground
yeah.
because whenever it floods, they come floating to the top. You
It's
know.
what I always call it Graveland. Like it's like well for me, like it's the Gravelands. Like and it was that inspired me. I put that in Butch Cleaver. Like there's straight up Gravelands. Like there's a city of just that, dude. You know what I mean?
Some of the cemeteries we have are just crazy, dude, because they got above ground tombs and it's just fucking,
They're like towers. They're like
dude,
buildings,
it's like a
right?
mile of
They're
like
like
tombs.
so it's
Yeah.
the Gravelands. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, that's so like I I wanted to make that like a whole like book, dude, of like going there and there's just like shit going on, and then the more I read, like even like in the Philippines, like people live in the Gravelands in the Philippines, and if like you don't pay rent on the person that died, they evict your like say if you're married, right?
That's
Your
kind
wife
of the way
dies,
it is.
they
Yeah.
they take your wife's body out of the ground, and then they take it out, they exhume it out of the dirt, and they live there, dude. Like they have stoves set up in there and everything in the graveyard, right?
Dude, they were doing that for a while, like back in the 90s. They
Yeah,
caught them like throwing bodies away
yeah,
in the dumpsters, you know,
mm,
because they would just take them out. And like back then, the dumpsters, well, not the dumpsters, the graveyards were really fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like they wasn't keeping up with them like they were supposed to. And you could see like some of the tombs were cracked open and you'd see like skeletons hanging out and shit like that.
yeah,
In fact, there's a story about when Marilyn Manson came down
uh huh.
and he was he got he got fucked up on acid or some shit like that, and he was running around. Him and his band were running around in a graveyard, and he got caught by because the cops were called. And he got caught with 2 femur bones sticking out of his pants,
Oh
like just
shit,
high as fuck,
oh, that's fucking crazy, dude.
in the middle of a graveyard, talking about some crazy shit.
We got
You
someone in
know,
the chat, Kanan Morden. I watched this channel for a Vigil interview. Does this guy do indie comics? Yeah, Kanan Morden, Preston. We both do indie comics. Preston's a fucking badass motherfucker. He does
Tim
awesome
Vigil.
comic.
We did an interview with Joe Vigil actually
Yeah,
for
yeah.
his Cowboys in Hell. If you look into the
I gotta get that book.
video archives, dude, it's badass.
I
Like,
gotta get that
in
book.
fact,
And thanks for
I
coming,
was.
Kanan. We appreciate it.
Oh yeah, dude, thanks.
Thanks for
The
stopping by.
in fact, Joe was supposed to send me a link to his new book, so I can pay for it and he can send it over to me. Because he's
I
got
want to buy
another
that
issue
book.
of,
I want to get that cowboy book.
I'm gonna send you the link. I'll try to get it to you tomorrow. So that you
Yeah,
can,
and I got to
check
send you
out
over
the
a Butch Cleaver
graphic
too
novel.
with some cards that you drew. So
Yeah, I'm totally down with that.
I'm
You
just
know, it's almost 4 o'clock in the morning. I think we got to call it.
yep. Let's do it. 1:30 over here.
You guys take it easy.
You
Bye
too.
bye.